is going on, everyone? And happy Father's Day. I hope you all had a bunch of beers, maybe a blowjob, who knows? But it is episode 102, recorded on Sunday, June 19th, 2022. I'm Drew, and hey, John, guess what? I have a joke for you.
Let's hear it, Drew.
On Father's Day, let's throw a little father-son joke here. So a son and his dad walked into a bar. You always love a joke that starts like that, right? His dad says to his son, "What do you want, fathead?" The son stumbles on his words, and the father again says, "What do you want, fathead?" A lady close by says, "Why do you keep calling your son fathead?" And he replies, "Well, lady, there are 3 things a man has to have in life to be a successful man. Number 1, you must have a big truck. See that truck over there? Biggest truck in the county. That's mine. Second, you have to have a big house. See that house down the road? That's my house. Biggest house in the county. And third, you must have a tight pussy to go home to. And I had one until this fathead came along."
Oh my God.
The sun has set on another day, and now it's time to grab a cold one and enjoy the Dads After Dark show with your hosts, Drew and John.
On tonight's show, we will be celebrating Father's Day. We will be striking it up in some battle lead discussions.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah, and can we stop using the term not E3? It fucking blows. And much, much more, folks. John, buddy, happy Father's Day. What are you doing? What have you been up to?
Happy Father's Day, Drew. This was a bittersweet day. I love Father's Day. It's a weird holiday. It's weird.
It's weird.
I find it weird. Mother's Day is all about,
Springtime.
what mothers want to do, and Father's Day is all about what mothers want to do. It's strange. So we went to. I live in a unique part of the world. If you ever want to know around where I live 5 minutes away from Red Rocks Amphitheater, right? John Tesh, famous Red Rocks Amphitheater. I can see it from my house.
Wow.
I live really close by. And I also live right next to Dino Ridge, which is one of the I wouldn't say preeminent because it's not the fanciest place, but I believe it is where the Stegosaurus was discovered for the first time. I may or may not be right on that. Yeah. And it is like a little museum. I mean, like a Colorado museum. We're not talking like some fancy thing in DC.
Like a side road museum. Yeah.
There's a gift shop. There's a museum. It's not huge. The tickets for the museum are $3. That gives you an idea.
How many times would you say you've been to the museum?
Today was the first time I've ever been.
I gotta assume it's like a one and done thing.
It's probably not going to go in unless I have company over or whatever. But it's not that fantastic.
Okay.
But nearby the museum, there's a little walk. You go up a hill, and there's this hill, and they have fossils in the hill. So as you're walking, there's these like kind of. I think they like kind of painted them so you can see the fossils better.
Real
it's like kind of like white.
About?
Yeah, well, I guess what you're the definite. Yeah, they're like the imprints in the rock. So you can see dinosaur tracks. And it's funny because you're walking up this hill and it's a pretty grueling walk, but they closed off the whole road and you can just walk up. You can spread out. There's a lot of bikers. They'll go down. There's a bike lane, all that stuff.
Sure.
It's really nice. I used to go up this hill for Pokemon Go all the time.
Of course.
And there's dinosaur tracks, but it's like if you're walking up the road, it's like a mountain that goes up. So they're like, it's almost like vertical.
God.
And you're like, well, how is a dinosaur walking sideways? It's because the dinosaur tracks are so old that the hills have formed and pushed the tracks up. So it's really cool. You can see them, and the lower part of the wall, they let kids touch whatever they want. Like they can go in, put their hands in the tracks and all that stuff. Very cool. And then you can't go up past a certain, you'd have to climb. So it's really nice. And you can walk. I've walked up the hill and looked at the tracks. You can read the signs, but whatever. And that's part of the Dino Ridge area. So today so it's a really cool place that's right near us that we never really explore. But at 9 a.m. we met family there. And it was mostly for my nephew, who's like about to turn 2. But my kids got to experience it too. And we did that. But man, I woke up this morning around 6. Michelle and I did our morning walk. I was so tired.
Nice.
And then we got home. We all had to shower, get ready. And you know how it is when you have company over. You have to start, prepping some food and get the table set up. And we just had so little time for it. And then so everyone came over after. We had tons of food, way too much food. And then that's been the only meal I ate today. Was just that. So I'm just exhausted and I'm done. But I got some gifts from Michelle, and I showed you earlier the Slay the Spire hoodie, and that's from Fangamer. And then she also got me a couple of pins.
Why aren't you wearing it?
I need to wash it, but it is now the 3rd hoodie from Fangamer that I have. They're all the same. They're kind of a thinner hoodie. They're zip up. They have the hood, but they have where you can put your thumb through like a hole on the sleeve.
Yep.
So
I don't have any of those.
Yeah, I have 3. I have the Slay the Spire, the Monster Hunter one, which I've been wearing a lot. And then I have Celeste, which is a size large. It was always a little small on me, but when we finish up the Chubby Bracket, I'm going to put it on and see how well it fits, because that's the one I really want to wear.
That's cool.
So I have 3 of them, and they're really good quality. I love them, so I totally recommend them. But the Slay the Spire one is definitely the nerdiest one. Right, Celeste was a pretty popular game. Monster Hunter's popular. Slay the Spire is a game like most people are like, what the hell is that?
I mean, let's be honest. If you're wearing any video game related shirt, hoodie, whatever, it's nerd. You're a nerd.
True, but games are pretty mainstream. But I don't know how much Slay the Spire is. So I'll be wearing that one soon. But yeah, have fun. How was your Father's Day?
Fantastic. I woke up at 4:45 a.m.
Oh my God.
It was a weird day. So you got to remember, you're from New York. New England, June, middle of June, almost end of June. It's typically hot, right? At least 80 degrees every day. I woke up it was 49 degrees today.
Wow.
Raining and windy.
Ooh.
And I got in my car and I went to the golf course. And I played golf. I played 18 holes. It got a little better, but it was chilly.
Were you with Bub?
I did not. I did play with my brother, my father, another buddy. It was fun. It was grueling weather, but it was a good day. Came home. Actually, on the way home, I stopped at the market. I picked up some seafood for a nice seafood feast later. Got home. I put on the U.S. Open. Fitzpatrick, what a dope buddy. He earned it. Won the U.S. Open. I sat in my chair, watched golf for about 3 hours while playing strikers, and it was fantastic. I had strikers, and then I had the iPad playing golf, and then I had a seafood feast. And let me tell you, I feel pretty shitty. I haven't shit in like 35 hours, 40 hours. Yeah, and I ate crab legs. I ate 8 crab legs. I ate a crab cake, some shrimp.
This is the most Rhode Island conversation.
And some like mini grilled potatoes. They were delicious. Yeah, so I'm pretty full. I'm gonna like I already have the stinky farts coming, so it's gonna be like.
Are you gonna finish the show? Are you gonna bail?
Yeah, I should be okay. If not, like morning when I get to work, I'm gonna just unleash in the work bathroom.
I hope that you don't shit until after your next weigh-in, because I want to see you weigh in, and then I want to see the weigh-in after that.
Me too.
That's gonna be epic. Your chart is gonna go woo.
I actually think I forgot to weigh in, so I might have to go weigh in after this, which is not good because I haven't shit and I've been eating. So I might have to go weigh in after.
You can skip.
Yeah, if you miss a day, it's not the end of the world.
You can skip. Tuesday's the only necessary day. I forgot to weigh in this morning, and I had a cinnamon roll, and I realized I forgot to weigh in, so my weight was a little. I weighed in, but it wasn't accurate because I had a cinnamon roll. But yeah, I would say don't weigh in.
You know what's really odd? I found So when I wake up in the morning, I have a routine. I usually weigh myself. And then I decide if it's worth taking the picture or do I shower and then weigh in. And I found that if I weigh myself after a shower, I lose between 0.3 and 0.8 pounds. I don't understand it, but it's about like 10 days in a row accurate.
I agree with you. I noticed that if I weigh myself, then I pee and then weigh myself, my weight will go up. Does your scale have like electronic sensors too? I wonder if that has something. Yeah, so I think
my weight goes down, I'm saying 0.3.
Oh, I know, but I think it's part of the like that your skin is more moist. How's that for a word? Ooh. That might change the weight a little bit, maybe, because if anything, you should be heavier.
I would think so. You absorb some water.
Yeah, but I think maybe that's just it makes your scale think you're lighter. That's weird.
Interesting.
I did want to point out last week we had a party at Cooz's. Oh man, it was so much fun.
You guys texted me a video. You guys were hugging.
Yeah.
You guys were circle jerking. It looks fantastic.
It was great. It was my kids had their dance recital. That was fun to see. We have to go to the whole hour recital, and the kids have like combined 2 dances. One that my daughter does with her dance class, and then they also do their own. They do like a hip hop dance class.
Mm-hmm.
And then so Sebastian and Melody do a dance. So it's 2 songs out of 15 where my kids. So
it's like 2 hours for 6 minutes.
It's 1 hour. And I'll be honest,
not bad.
I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
I do enjoy it.
The other kids, family, friends, and stuff like that. Yeah.
Not really, especially since COVID started. Well, because I don't sit in the room. You know what I mean? Like since COVID started, so I don't see anybody. My wife probably knows more people, but even she doesn't. But then we went over to Kuz's, so we were a little late. We used to do these parties a lot, and we haven't done one since February 2020. So this was the first one, and it was great. We're at Bob. It's Kevin. We're at Kuz's new house. Drew, everybody listening, this man is an artist. What he did to his basement. Look, his previous man cave basement was amazing, right? This one, I think he's outdone himself because the last one had a lot of 49er shit in it, and this one has a lot of 49er shit. I can do without the 49er shit. Get that shit out.
Yeah, we all could.
The fuck, man. But he had like a main room with, this is what I always wanted. He has like 6 movie theater seats in front of a big screen TV. And so like there's 3 movie theater seats on the floor, and then 3 on risers behind him, which is what I've always wanted to do. If I ever finish my basement, I want a little movie theater room.
Yeah.
But in addition to the main TV, he has 4 TVs surrounding it. And he was playing like Nintendo Switch trailers. There was some stuff going on in all the TVs he had. He had the Met game on the top right corner, which was awesome. And so that's great. Then he has the mini bar and all that. Fine. But he has a room that's attached to this basement for his arcade, and he's got like 8 or 9 1-up machines. And he had a Guitar Hero set up in the wall, so the TV was in the wall, and I think it was playing on the Wii, but that was like behind. I don't know where the Wii was. It was like behind the wall. It was so cool. He had a Golden Tee, I believe. He had a
you sent me that one.
The deer shooting game. He had some classic like 1-up stuff. He had the Pac-Man. He had the Ninja Turtles 1-up. I think he had the NBA Jam 1-up. And then he had I think it was a NES Classic. I can't remember what it was, but he had a MAME thing set up with a vertical screen. And then he had a wall of like memorabilia stuff. Like stuff I have on my shelves behind me, but it was all lit up. It was gorgeous. Wow. Had his games and all that stuff.
Did he do it all himself?
I don't know. Kuz needs to tell us. It's just so well decorated. I mean, he either has a really great eye for interior decoration or his wife does. But it's just so well done, man. It's just incredible.
We're going to have him come on to explain the making of the man cave.
You need to visit Denver someday for like a weekend, and we'll just live at his house.
You know, speaking of that, Koozy's coming to visit me.
That's coming soon.
Like 3 weeks. It's what is it? 1 week, 2, less than 3 weeks. 1 week, 3 weeks on the dot.
And you guys are doing a golf trip.
I need to start planning. We're going to do a golf trip and casino night.
There's going to be a big breakfast involved, isn't there?
Probably. I'll do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, one day you and Hambone should come out here, and Kevin will send his wife and kids away, and we will just do like a weekend sleepover.
And circle jerk.
And just, I don't know, play shit or whatever. No golf. Not doing it. No golf. Maybe we'll do like a mini golf course.
Mini golf.
And we'll play something. We got to think about a game that's going to come out or something that we'll all just like totally binge. It'd be great. Mario Strikers would have been a great little binge game. We could all play on our own game. Yeah. That would be fun. He has the 4 TVs. We could all be playing our own game on the TVs all around. That'd be great.
That'd be cool.
Anywho, it was a ton of fun. It was great to see some people in person again. We played Towerfall. We actually didn't play Mario Strikers, oddly. We played...
Wasn't it that the whole point of the party?
Yeah, but I just don't know if it's a casual enough game for people to just play. It's not a pick up and play game.
You know what it is, though? It's when a brand new game comes out, like most of the people at your party wouldn't have played it yet.
Yes.
So it's not a game that said, oh yeah, let me just pick that up and play it. Right. You have to learn it, and you don't have everything unlocked. It's like, so sometimes like launch day game like, parties aren't that great for that game.
Right. If you have friends over that know Splatoon, you can do a Splatoon 3 party.
Yeah.
But we played Towerfall, we played Smash, we played I know Switch Sports got played.
Mario Kart
got played. It was great. So much fun.
Nice.
And then I have to tell you this. I had a contest on. I picked his Pac-Man 1-up machine, and I had a high score contest in Pac-Man, and the person who could score the highest won a Sayonara Wild Hearts game code for Switch, which I bought before the party.
What a give it back.
And my buddy Alex won it. Actually, I had the highest score, but Alex had the second highest score, so it was great to give that away.
Was it?
It was fantastic. Alex probably doesn't listen. He doesn't get much time to play his Switch, but I hope he plays Sayonara Wild Hearts.
I hope he doesn't.
All right. We have a special Manscaped read from our very good friend. Take it away.
Summer is coming. The sun is shining. Shirts are off. And your balls are smooth. You heard that right. Your friends at Manscaped are here to make sure your beach balls are as smooth as Floridian sand. In summer, you want to kill some cold beers and barbecues, not kill the vibe with pubes peeking out your swim trunks. That's why Manscaped has their Performance Package 4.0 to keep the party in your pants looking crisp and refreshing all summer long. Dive headfirst into summer by joining the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, and get ready for hot guy summer by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code NINDADS. That's NINDADS. And now, back to the show. The Bounty Board.
All right, love it.
Love it.
Thank you, Sadie. Bounty Board.
Bounty Board.
We have one bounty, Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, 1166 Kyber bricks, $10. That is like a penny a brick almost.
I was playing the other day. I'll get to it later, but I looked up. I said, I need to know how many Kyber bricks I have. I have like 250.
Almost there.
How
many hours do you have of that game?
Come back to me. I'm going to look it up.
Oh, okay. While you do that, I'm going to talk about the Chubbys Bracket. I haven't really been updating the Chubbys Bracket every episode, but I wanted to. So we are, if you're not in the Chubbys Bracket, this is a 10-week contest. The person who can lose the most weight wins the big prize. We also have a second place, But there's also weekly prizes, very small prizes, but nobody's in this for money. If you're in this for money, you're in the wrong business. And the week 3 winner was Hambone Johnny. Yes, Hambone Johnny, who's pretty slender.
How? He doesn't have weight to lose. I don't understand.
I know, and it's percentage of weight, but if you don't have a lot to lose, it's hard to like get it. But he did. He won week 3. And then Nick Metzger from Game Pass News, he won week 4. And Nick is the current overall leader by quite a bit.
Killing it. He's quietly been killing it because he's not advertising like other guys are. He's just out there doing it. He's dominating.
Absolutely.
I respect that.
He says he feels great. He says he got rid of all of his COVID weight. So it's awesome. I love to hear him psyched up about it. And
my strategy has been, I've been trying to eat better, except for today. And I've lost like 7 or 8 pounds just from like eating a little bit better.
Yeah, you're in a good
now
place.
The second half of the chubby bracket is like when I'm really going to start exercising, hopefully. And that's my plan.
You haven't been?
No, I haven't. I've gone on like 3 runs in the last 4 weeks.
Wow.
So I need to start exercising now to really drive it home.
Yeah. I haven't won any of the weeks, but I have been really happy with my weight loss through. I think I've gotten to about 11 pounds lost. I feel fantastic.
That's great.
My stomach is shrinking. And like, I even like see this shirt I'm wearing today. I've had this in my closet for a while.
And it wasn't really fitting.
We could almost make it. It's a Mario shirt. We could almost make it a topic, but like, do you have clothes in your closet where you'll put it on and just not feel comfortable? It's a little too tight. And 100%. Then you put it back and you're like, one day I'm going to lose weight just so I can wear that shirt.
And you're like, I like it. It's not worth like getting rid of it because I want to lose. I like this shirt.
Yes. And that's actually what my Celeste jacket, like I said, I want to wait until the end of the 10 weeks and do Celeste. This was a shirt that I would put on from time to time, but it felt a little tight. And I wore it today. So I'm very excited. I need to go through all my shirts. My rotation of shirts has been like, I'm not going to lie, like 5 or 6 shirts that I'll wear because I'm not comfortable. Yeah. So I've been really excited about it. But yeah, I think the secret is really, for me, it's been limiting my snacks. Just having less. I'm not like having a small helping when I eat a meal, but just controlling it.
It's harder because you're at home all day, right? So you work from home, so you should walk to the pantry, whatever. So I found at work, I used to have like almonds. I used to have like some extra bags of chips in case I brought a sandwich someday. I'd have a few. I'd have Girl Scout boxes of cookies. So if I was ever hungry, it was like a mini pantry at work. So if I ever got hungry, I'd be like, let me go have a couple cookies or a bag of chips. But what I did was when this started was I just took everything home. So I legit have 0 snacks at work. So like there's days I'm like, man, but there's nothing unless I go to the vending machine and buy something, which I just won't do.
Right.
I don't have snacks, and it's been fantastic. And then I'll eat a tiny lunch. Like I'll just bring like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'll eat it, and that's it. No sides, nothing.
Oh, really?
So that's what I've been doing. I've been having like a yogurt for breakfast, a sandwich for lunch, and that's it until I get home from work.
I think the snacks are your key right there.
Yeah.
If you have them in your drawer, you're gonna eat them, whether you're hungry or not. It's just gonna happen.
You have a couple of cookies and a couple of those like one of those 2 bags of those chips. Like you just added 500-600 calories.
Exactly. It goes fast.
Yeah.
Yep. And then like combining that with exercise, like I do this 500 calorie walk every morning. So actually when I start my day, I have an extra, I use like a calorie counter. I have an extra 500 calories of wiggle room.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That I eat during the day. But without the snacking, without the soda and all that stuff, it's a nice slow progression.
Yeah. No soda is key. If you're a soda drinker, if you drink soda and you want to lose weight, just stop drinking soda. You'll lose like 5 or 6 pounds.
Try the carbonated waters, the bubblies, the LaCroix, those sort of things. They don't taste great at first, but man, once you just get used to it, it's such a substitute for soda. It's saved me. So that's been great. Tell us about our Dads After Dark Strikers Club and some money winning opportunities.
Strikers Club, guys. If you are in the Dads After Dark Strikers Club, here's your chance to win some cold, hard cash.
Yeah.
If you're not in the club, there's still room. We have a couple more spots open. Let me know on Discord. If you want to be in the club, you do need to be in Discord because that's how we chat. But get onto the Discord, the Nintendo Dads Discord, and you can join our club. We're dominant, folks. We have 18 people. We've already collected like 75,000 tokens. We're absolutely dominating. So
have we done 75,000?
Yeah, between all the stuff we bought, I would say we're pretty close to it.
Okay, yeah, because we just hit that 50,000 mark to get the new stadium.
Yeah, and I'd say 25,000 easily with the other few things.
And we've rocked the last couple days.
Oh, yeah. We
have rocked.
So what we're going to do is the new season starts tomorrow morning, Monday morning. So yesterday, I guess. But what we're going to do is every season lasts 1 week, and it shows the stats of how well you played that week. So whoever gets the most points, right, the most points earned in our club will get a $10 eShop gift card. It's simple.
Is that points or tokens?
It's points.
They call it points.
So you get 6 points for a win, 2 points for a tie, and 1 point for a loss.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Cool.
So, technically you could say whoever plays the most would win, but not necessarily true. You're getting 5 more points for a win than just losing. So, it's out there for the taking. The top performer will be $10 eShop credit. That's it. Simple.
That's awesome.
Easy money. It's a double
and that's
win.
1 week.
It's 1 week.
I mean, that's literally a sprint. It
is.
Let's go. And we are not eligible.
We are not, because I know I'm going to be up there.
I don't think I would win. I'm actually pretty sure you would win.
I've been
we're
playing
not eligible.
A lot.
Yeah.
I probably play 10 to 20 games a day at minimal.
They're fun. We're going to talk about it later, but I mean, I'm having a blast with it.
Me too. That's it, I think.
Cool. All right. So many ways to win. $10. We love giving away that $10.
We love it.
What we've been playing.
So I'll start off. Switch Sports. I am still going back to Switch Sports every week.
I'm so happy that you're playing this game. I really am. No, I am.
I really enjoy playing the soccer. That's really the only sport I'm playing. I'll play bowling with my wife. There's been a couple nights instead of watching Netflix, we'll go play bowling, maybe strip bowling, maybe not.
Please tell me that's true. I don't need details, but just tell me that's true.
Maybe not.
I love it, even if it's not true.
But I enjoy soccer. I got to rank A, and they give you a number ranking, so you're always A. Great. But I really don't care about my rank anymore. I'm just playing. If I get to rank 24, which I think I am now, great. I gotta say though, I'm really good. I'm authentically good. I will play games where I am carrying my team. I had a game yesterday. I scored all 4 points for us, 3 goals, the 2 goals, and then the golden goal.
Yeah.
Then I had a game where I scored all 3 goals for my team. I mean, I've had some great shots. My nickname is Monster Shot in the game. And every time I put a great shot on goal and it says Monster Shots of Blanc, it's like, yeah, that name is justified. Love it.
They call me that in bed.
From across the room. So I've unlocked all the cards. I'm clean. I actually finished the new set. The one this week was the ice cream outfits. They have little ice cream hats and think about what they were wearing in Stranger Things 3, Steve. And the robot was the coolest unlock. Even my son wants to unlock the robot. So that's a pretty cool one. You can be a robot and wear glasses. Pretty awesome. So yeah, I will probably put that game to rest until Thursday when the new sheet comes out. I'm really just playing for the sheet, but I love playing the soccer. So
why would a robot need glasses?
It's just hilarious when you see somebody do it. Just hilarious. Persona 5. I continue to play Persona 5, and how cool Xbox is going to be getting Persona 5. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Is that a big deal?
We'll talk about it. Kind of, yeah. So I'm 48 hours in. I think I've played about 16 hours since last week. Yeah, it's a slow burn. I don't hate it at all. It's not my favorite game at all. It's a long game, And I'm just continuing to go. I'm going to finish it. It's just, I'm not playing it exclusively. In fact, I was playing it right before the show. It's very casual. And I did one of those things before the show where I went back to the side quests that they have in this game. You ever do this in an RPG? And like you have these old side quests and you just destroy the bosses of the side quests. So it's like, on one hand, you're like, oh, I'm blowing through these side quests so fast. But on the other hand, I'm getting a prize which is like laughably weak. Oh, I got this sword. I don't need this. So 48 hours in. Let's see where I am next time. Darkest Dungeon. I really enjoyed my playthrough of Darkest Dungeon. It did not finish with success.
What?
I played about 35 hours in a pretty short time with Darkest Dungeon.
I just looked you up.
What'd you do?
I just looked up your game. 35 hours.
Is it 35?
Yeah.
How do you explain? I enjoyed Darkest Dungeon, but I think what it asks you to beat the game is a little ridiculous and also demands that you use guides, because here's how it ended up. Like I said in the past, you go through dungeons, you level up your characters, you get some power-up items, and you get some money, and then you use that to purchase upgrades and power-ups and all that. It's an addictive little loop. Dungeon. The dungeons are not exciting. They're very repetitive. They're kind of bland, whatever. But you get these new characters. You try to level them up to level 6, which is the max. And then you can use them in bigger dungeons. The problem that I had was I could go through the beginner dungeons, no problem. And I was even getting through the intermediate dungeons, no problem. I had yet to try an expert dungeon or a darkest dungeon, which is the highest difficulty. So I had a set of characters at level 6. I was just raking. And I was like, you know what? Let me try to do a darkest dungeon. So to beat the game, you have to beat 4 darkest dungeons. You have to beat the first one to get to the second one, to the third one, to the fourth one.
So you tried the first one.
I tried, I know I tried one expert dungeon, and then I said, okay, I'm going to try the darkest dungeon. If it doesn't go well, I might be done. Let me tell you, Drew, I took my 6 best characters. One of them was named Drew.
Yes.
6 best characters.
Was I a female?
No, you're a male.
Okay.
I got fucking destroyed. I mean, I didn't even find the boss. I don't think I got close to finding the boss.
Ugh.
Mutilated. And I was pretty good. I played for 35 hours. I'm not like, a beginner here.
Yeah.
And just destroyed. And all my characters died. And I just put the game down and said, I had fun. It's over. Because what that happens is they're dead. You don't get to try again. You have to use different characters to try again.
They'll
so
never
you would have
come back.
to, right. So I had 4 other level 6 characters, but like you would have to take some of your weaker characters and grind them through the dungeons to get them to level 6 to even attempt the darkest dungeon. And then here's the laughable part. You have to do 4 darkest dungeons. And when you beat a darkest dungeon by default, you can't use those characters in the next darkest dungeon.
Stop.
They basically retire. I think you still have them, but you can't use them in any other darkest dungeon.
This game sounds... I can't believe you played this much of this game.
Well, I didn't know this detail when I played it.
There's too many dumb rules. It sounds like a fun game.
There's
too many dumb rules.
Yeah, you could change the option to say they can do the darkest dungeon, but they'll be a little more weak in there. And then so you have to do that 4 times. It was just like, come on. And when you get to the darkest dungeon, and in the other dungeons, you can actually see all the rooms, and so you can have an idea of where the boss might be, and you try to get there. The darkest dungeons, you don't. You're blind in the map, so you're just kind of wandering aimlessly. Maybe you would come across the boss if you go in the right direction. Maybe you would do a whole bunch of rooms you don't need to do. So I really did enjoy it, but I think in the end, what it was asking was way too much. I think it would take, I'm not even joking, hundreds of hours of constantly grinding characters, learning, because when you die to a boss, generally you learn about how you died, you re-strategize, and you give it another try. You would have to grind up 4 more level 6 characters before you could even try again. So I had fun, but I'm done.
So do you think after all this time we can finally put Darkest Dungeon in the grave?
Yes.
And not have to talk about it.
Never digging it up again.
Follow-up question. Do you think if we compiled all of the Darkest Dungeon chat, we could put out like a 2-hour episode?
We probably could. You're still mad about my 45-minute, or what was that, 25 minutes on Darkest Dungeon? You guys kept asking questions. What do you want me to do?
We were intrigued, but not that much.
It's a very interesting game. Yeah. And there's a Darkest Dungeon 2 coming.
Maybe I'll jump on that bandwagon. I'm
going to check it out just to see if they fix what I think are some kind of design flaws in the first one. But yeah. In terms of games that I did play through, I played through the Fire Emblem Three Hopes demo. I'm a huge fan of Three Houses. I've played through that multiple times. I played the demo. I usually don't play these demos that will continue your progress when the game comes out because I don't like the interruption.
Yep.
But I played it because there's a week between Three Hopes and Monster Hunter. And I really need to start Monster Hunter a few days early. So I have like 4 or 5 days. So I played the demo just to cut into the time that it would take to play through the whole game.
This is the Warriors game, right?
It's the Warrior style game. So this comes out the 24th, and I'm going to continue my playthrough. I enjoyed it. It's a Warriors game. So this is not a Game of the Year contender at all. And even the battling is just like, whatever. I get a high from it, but I play it for the storyline. I love these characters, and so every time you finish a chapter, you get to watch story sequencing. And that's it.
Will you 100% it like I did Hyrule Warriors?
Absolutely not. No, because I didn't 100% Hyrule Warriors. I played.
But I did, John. I did.
You 100%ed Hyrule.
Miserable. Remember?
How do you 100% it though? Is that like just because you can't like grind everybody to max level?
No. You had to beat every map. Remember all the little dots that popped up?
Oh, yeah. That was fun.
That was good.
I didn't do it. I actually tried to start that game on Switch to 100% it. I played a couple chapters and got bored.
Yeah, there's a lot of chapters. There's like 100 and something chapters.
There's too much to play. I played Fire Emblem Warriors more than I played Hyrule Warriors. I actually enjoyed it because Camilla's in it.
I loved Hyrule Warriors. No regrets.
Yeah. So this one is going to be, I think, the same. It's not like it's very repetitive and that sort of thing, but I love the story and it's cool. So yeah, I'll be continuing it. I will say though, it ends. I saw like a battle that I thought I was going to be able to play, and so I just did some side stuff and I upgraded gear and I did all those things. And when I was all done, I was like, all right. And this is called this chapter was called the Battle of Garreg Mach. Which if you played Three Houses, Garreg Mach is the school that Three Houses takes place in. And man, the sound of this chapter, like so excited to play it. And I clicked it and it says your demo is over. You have to continue. So they really did end it at like a cliffhanger point where any fan of Fire Emblem is going to probably buy the game so they can do the Battle of Garreg Mach and see what happens. So I'll be buying it and playing it day one. And then the last game I'm not going to really talk about, but I started Returnal. PS Plus kicked off. The new tiers kicked off on Monday. Michelle downloaded Little Nightmares, and she actually played through and rolled credits on Little Nightmares. I was very proud of her. Very cool game. Very cool game. And I downloaded Returnal. I'm still very early into it. I'll talk about it way more on the next show that we do. But initial impressions are, wow, this game takes such advantage of the DualSense controller. It's insane. It feels so good. The haptics in the controller feel so good. I've been playing this game exclusively with 3D audio, so I have the headset on, which is why I've been limited to how much I've played it. And very cool roguelike, just very neat. But I'll talk more about the story and everything next episode when I'm just further in. But yeah, I'm really, really liking it so far. All right. How about you, Drew?
Well, obviously, I've been playing a shit ton of Mario Strikers, probably over 30 hours. But we'll talk about that. I've been cruising along this weekend. Me and my son made up some ground on Lego Star Wars. We are on the last movie, episode 9. So we played all 8 of them and beat them all. We have like 250-ish Brits, like I said. I looked, we have 60 hours into this game.
Are you missing bricks, or is it just they're harder to get, or you just...
Well, so beating the levels get you like 2 or 3 Brits, but there's 5 levels in every movie, right? So we played 40 levels. So even if you get 3 Brits a level, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's 120. And then we do, you know, every once in a while he lets you do free play. And if I, you know, while he's running around just beating the shit out of things, I'll go do like a mission or 2 and collect the brick. But I don't think we're necessarily missing stuff. You need to beat the game, and then you can go back and play all the levels over again and do the side missions.
Right.
So yeah, we'll be playing that for a while. Slay the Spire. I'm killing it. 150 hours on my phone.
You're so good at it. I say it every time, but you're so good at it.
I'm at Ascension level 18 with the Silent. So 2 more. And I've probably lost on Ascension 18 a dozen times so far.
Yeah, you don't send me the losses. You only send me the victories.
It's hard. It's getting hard. I made it to the final boss, I think, twice last week. I just couldn't do it.
Palms got sweaty.
It's just
where did you get with Ironclad? Is this the same level you got to with Ironclad?
I'm stuck on number 19. No, so I'm 1 more behind.
Oh, okay. Wow.
But that's it. I mean, most of my time has been Strikers, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But what I also started playing today, which I think you started playing, Shredder's Revenge. Are we talking about that now, or we want to talk about that later?
Let's talk about it now.
Let's talk about it. What did you think? Fantastic. It is fun. It is smooth. It is like that beat 'em up game that I love. We did 4 players. All 4 of us, the whole family played. We played 9 episodes. We're on the 9th episode.
Okay, you're ahead of me.
Yep. And it's fun. It's such nostalgia, throwback. It's smooth. I love the little collectibles and unlockables and secrets. I mean, it's nothing extraordinary, right? That type of stuff. But, you know, they went through the effort to add them in with the level. Do you agree?
I absolutely agree, because my fear of the game, it looked great, was, okay, we're just going to blast through this game and be done with it.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of depth. There's those collectibles that don't mean anything.
Yeah.
And then there are like side quest missions where you're finding collectibles, but they do mean something. There's you level up all your characters, and I don't know a lot about it, but you level up your characters. So if you keep playing, like, I guess you're playing on some sort of game save or something, and like, so you can be encouraged to pick different characters, because right now our April O'Neil is at level 0. Nobody's picked her yet. But like maybe one day, like me and my son play and we pick a couple characters just to grind them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw somewhere in one of the menus it showed you, which I wish they did a better job of explaining it, what you get at each level up.
Right.
Like, I think one of the level ups is, you know, you get an extra 1-up, right? Yep. So instead of 3 lives, now you have 4 lives permanently, or maybe you recharge your special move faster. So I agree. There's a little bit of benefit playing with those. Since we wanted to play as a family, we did do like the chill mode, which
we did too.
Which is fine. This is the type of game. I'm not looking for like a hard game. I just want to enjoy the game itself.
Yes.
And I mean, we've died a couple times. I don't think we like died and had to start the level over.
Right.
I mean, plus you could bring people back unlimited if you can get to them.
Well, you get and my main feedback is going to be that I've only played this game with 5, or we actually had 6 players going.
Oh, wow.
No, I think we only had 5 going, actually. But we've had 5 players going. It's total madness on the screen.
Which
is kind of a criticism, but I just don't know how they could fix it. There's times when you can't see shit going on the screen.
Jamming the button.
I just don't know. Maybe that's why 4 players is a limit. Like maybe that 5 is too many. But I don't know the full mechanics of the game, because it's 5-player multiplayer. If I played this game solo just to really understand how things worked, like I remember in the original game, you wanted to try to if you could beat the level with 1 sliver of health, then when you get to the next level, you have full health. So that 1 sliver meant like a lot. It's like, does this game, when we get the pizza, I've like tried to tell my family, like, don't pick up the pizza if you see it. Let's give it to the person who needs it. But I've noticed a lot of pizzas apply to everybody, which is cool.
If they have the double pizza. Yeah.
So the double pizza?
Yeah, you'll see it. It's literally twice as big, and that goes to everybody.
Okay. Because we still have the problem where if your kid sees a pizza, they're going to grab it. Because if they don't grab it, one of the other kids will. And it's like, but you were missing one sliver of health. And like, you know, my wife is like nearly dead. Like, let her pick it up. Yeah. Kids are just not good with that sort of strategy.
No, and then they get mad when they don't get it. I'm like, you don't need it.
Right, I wanted to get the pizza.
But then there's other certain types of pizzas that give you power-ups, which are kind of cool too. Not health. It's fun. It's great. It's fun. I love the overworld.
Yes.
I think that's it's well designed. It's fun. Like you said, it has a little hidden pathways for extra missions and stuff like that.
And it looks like some of the overworld levels in the original Ninja Turtles on NES, if you notice.
Yes. Yep.
Which makes it fun. But that's also, you can see the little side quests, the people you need to help. Like there's one that says I need to find my secret, I think secret documents or something like that. And I was like, oh yeah, we found a couple of those. I don't know where the other ones are. But it does give you a motivation to replay levels and find more secrets. Yeah. So I think that kind of depth does make it more playable. And I think people will play it for a lot longer than they would have.
I agree. Otherwise. Like, you know, maybe me and the wife will now play without the kids and go back and play some of those other levels.
Yes.
And get to unlock those. I agree. And it's fantastic seeing all the enemies, a lot of the original enemies return. It's like, oh, I remember the guy with the big sword, or I remember the guy that had the spear, you know, or the little robots. Like, you know,
the little fucking the electric robots.
Yeah. I don't remember the names of the foot soldiers. And
not at all.
But
you know what the best part? You know what the best part is? I convinced my son to buy the game in his own account, so I didn't have to pay for it.
Look at that.
Nice.
So I don't know if you can, but I want to be Casey Jones. I don't know if that's like an unlockable character at some point.
He's unlockable.
I had to assume that.
I don't know how to unlock him, and honestly, I don't want to know.
Me either. I just want to play and figure it out.
Yeah, maybe you have to, you know, there's a side quest, or you have to get to the end of the game. Nobody tell us. I don't want to know. I just want to play through it.
Agreed.
I think if we get to the end of the game and it's like I still don't know, then
I might,
maybe look it up. But yeah, I'd rather not know.
Agreed.
It's great, and it plays well on Switch.
It does.
I was worried there might be some slowdown or maybe it won't look as good, but it's perfect as far as I can tell. So perfectly happy with it.
I have no issues.
Yeah, it's great. And how many times can you listen to the title sequence? Dinner was about to be ready, and I was like, let's just listen to the title screen because we don't have time to start. And we played it, and I was like, restart the game. I want to see the title sequence again. You can leave it running on the screen, and after like 20 seconds, it'll start over again. But like, leave it running.
It's awesome. I know.
It's great.
A lot of memories with Turtles.
Yeah, so much fun.
Sweet.
All right, I guess that's everything. Pretty efficient.
Yeah.
You want to chit chat? Do you want to chit chat, Drew?
Let's do some chit chat.
Let's do some chit. Let's a coffee talk.
Yeah.
It's chit chat time.
Drew, the game we've waited for forever. We named the last episode after it, even though it hadn't come out yet.
Yes.
Mario Strikers Battle League is here. It's been a week and 2 days. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
How awesome is it?
It's great. You know, it's as much fun as I was hoping for. You know, people can bitch about online and content and amount of stuff, but I think it's perfect. I mean, the cups I found a little easy. The Galactic Cups, which is a follow-up cups. You know, were they challenging? Yeah, but I think the way I interpreted it is the first set of cups was you just played the game. You could jam buttons and you were gonna win. You know what I mean? I was winning by 10 goals.
It was pretty easy.
The Galactic Cup was a good turn of events where the problem is you just used to jamming buttons and winning. Now you had to put some strategy behind it. And once you kind of did that, I don't think it was it was the perfect amount of difficulty.
Can we talk about those Galactic Cups? Because I knew that they were pointless. The first set of cups will actually unlock a new set of gear.
Correct.
That'll give you more points towards a skill, but also take away a point from like every other skill.
Yep.
But it's a great way to really juice up one skill.
Oh yeah.
The Galactic Cups, my big complaint with the Galactic Cups is the AI is omniscient. Like if I went to go tackle, I mean, it would immediately shoot an item out. It knew in an instant what I was doing.
Yeah.
Because that's what AI, you know, like one of the biggest game design concepts is game AI, you can make it indomitable. The point is to make it not so indomitable. The game knows you're about to try to tackle the player, and it responds too quickly. Found it very frustrating. The games were extremely manic. You had to be fast, and it actually trains you up to play quickly and tough. It is not easy, and it was frustrating. I had to pay a lot of money to do rematches. And when it was over, I was freaking relieved.
But you know, that was a great explanation. Touche. I mean, you really did nail it. You hit it perfect. But you nailed it early on too. So what a disappointment of getting through this frustration.
Yes.
And spoiler alert, guys. I mean, I hate to say it. It's a sports game. I'm not spoiling much, but you get nothing. You get zero. You don't get like a new icon. You don't get a little pat. You get zero.
You get more gold beating the Galactic Cups.
Which I'm still confused on. Like, what do you need gold for at this point?
So, I mean, obviously to buy equipment. The equipment's pretty cheap now.
I just had to go back and buy them all. I didn't do that for every character. Did you?
No, well,
I only bought the ones I wanted.
Fine idea, but I'm just going to wait. I still want to stick to buying the gear that I need. I think there will be more gear that comes out, I think. I don't want to waste it yet. But yeah, I think once you get like absurd amounts of gold, I'd probably just go and buy it all.
For every online match, you're getting gold too. So it's adding up, John.
Yeah, I need to check. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'll just go and at least buy. I think maybe every character you have should have a gear loadout. Maybe you don't need every piece of gear for them, but
the only thing I don't like, if I remember, it's if you buy the gear, does it automatically equip it? I don't want to be like messing with the guys I already have.
I think when you buy it, it says, do you want to equip it?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if anyone played the original Strikers on GameCube, you'll remember the infamous robot team.
Yes.
That's like, once you beat the last cup, like the robot guys, you have to play them. And they're impossible, and they're all robots, and it was awesome. Like, I was in my mind, like, oh my God, like, you know when they go up and you see the cup coming out of like the sky? I'm like, the robots are gonna like jump on the field and like grab it. Right? And then you're gonna have to play the robots for that cup. And I wanted that so bad, and it never happened. Like how do they not have anything?
Those robots dashed my dreams. I think you get maybe one rematch with the robots. I can't remember. But then it just ends.
They were hard.
If you don't beat them, you got to go through the whole thing again.
Yeah.
And I think I got to the robots twice or 3 times, and I can't beat them.
But if you beat them, you unlock them now. You can play as them.
That's fantastic, but I never was able to do it. And you have to go through a big playoff structure.
Yeah.
It was like 6, 7, 8 matches.
Yeah, it's tough. I was
just
really
for a shot at
that. But at the end of the day, it's fine. This game is called Battle Lead, right? Because it's focused on the online play. And John, you and I played quite a bit. I think they did Nintendo for once 9 out of 10 with this online play.
I love
it. They nailed it.
Yeah.
They thought of everything in these clubs, right? As far as people being able to vote what they want to buy on. I guess the only thing you can't see is who's online. Which was a little odd.
I do want to talk about the user interface. I have some complaints, but all of them are fixable. That's the good thing. When you go to the club section of the game, I wish they would just show you how many tokens you have in the top right corner immediately. You have to go to the stadium tab.
Yep.
And you see it in that one screen. Like, just show me, the dashboard should show me all my tokens. It should show me what all of the club members are doing, even if you're in the off season. Like, I want to know who's playing, who's not. I want to know that stuff. And then it'll say how many people are online, but it doesn't tell you who is online.
Correct. And they actually have a lot of that information, right? They're storing it and they're saving it because they have that little display like an ESPN that it scrolls along the top. Where, like yesterday you won this. Like, that's fantastic stuff. Show me that and let me scroll through it at my own pace.
It scrolls through really slow, one thing at a time. You literally would have to wait 30 seconds to see the next thing scroll.
And sometimes I do. I'm like sweating there, like, all right, that's not the stat I wanted.
Yeah.
The net stat, like, But I agree.
Said, give me the dashboard and show every stat I need, everybody's record, their activity over the last 7 days. Give it to me. It's so weird to me.
You see some of that stuff, but you have to now go to the members and then click each name where it shows stats. Yeah. Which right now is 0 because it's the off season.
Right. I'm really excited to see what this game looks like tomorrow.
Me too. I 100% agree.
The other thing too is besides all that, it's so weird. Like we were having conversations. So if you haven't played the club stuff on Mario Strikers, you can pick one of your characters on your personal roster to be in the club. Yes. So, if you play a team, my team I play is Bowser, a couple Toads, and like maybe a Wario. I pick Bowser to be my character in the club. So it means anybody else in the club, when you pick a team, you have to pick among the one player that everybody in the club has selected. Yeah. So you don't pick among your own characters and your own gear. So it's really fun because if you change your gear, it might influence other people. So for example, somebody had a very speedy Toad in the club and today changed that character to Yoshi. Ooh. And it fucked me over because that was my Toad. So I think that's really cool. But you can't see I didn't know whose Toad that was because when I go to pick them, it doesn't say the club owner's name. You have to go to the roster and look through the list and you'll see it. But it's just like, just put it there. Yeah, I want to know.
Just put the little name in the top corner or, when you select them.
Exactly.
I like Wario. Stuff. I use your Bowser. Mm-hmm. I use a Mario and a Luigi. That's my
okay, you like the balance. Yeah. That's a big one. It's just the little things. Every time you play a game, it asks you to pick your roster. And I know everybody must hate it.
Should have saved.
It's monotonous. I pick the same roster every time. Can you just default to it? And I've also noticed when you pick, if you just press A and move on, it doesn't always pick it up. It's like there's actually like a lag.
Yeah.
So I've had a couple of times where I started a game and I had the wrong characters because I just kind of went too quickly. Like
I think that you'll never see the automatic loads, I think, because there's a chance that people are changing characters, so they want you to reselect them every time.
Sure, but just let me say pick a new lineup or pick the last lineup. That's all.
Yeah, when you do like rematch, it should just take that same lineup. Why do I have to redo it rematch?
The rematch is weird because it's not a rematch. It just basically plays the same game format.
It saves a button clicker too. That's all.
Yeah. But the thing about the game is all of my complaints about it have nothing to do with the gameplay. It's all about really the user interface, and they're all fixable. They could be fixed by tomorrow. I hope they do.
I have zero complaints about the gameplay. You're absolutely right. And then as far as online played, myself, my wife played online. Smooth. No problems.
I've only had one game that got really laggy and then actually ended. Otherwise, it's been fine.
Yeah. And we can confirm if you play with another club member, you get double the tokens at the end of the game. It doesn't show it, but you are getting double the tokens.
Yeah, there's no penalty to playing with somebody, except for if you lose, neither one of you will get the 100 tokens.
You'll get 50 each, though.
But you and I have played some games together, and if we're winning, it's just perfectly fine. That's why I said you need to add your wife. If you're going to play this game online with your wife, you need to get the family plan and you need to add her because you're losing out on 100 tokens.
I know, every game.
Yeah. So let's talk about the gameplay. We both love the gameplay. So by default, I love everything about the gameplay. So let's talk about maybe some of the critical. Well, first of all, the gameplay is smooth. I think it's 60 frames a second, but it's very high. So it's extremely smooth. It's fun. The characters all have their own quirks. And on top of that, you can customize them with gear. So you can have like my Bowser has some speed gear on it to make him a little faster.
I like it.
Yeah, I think some of the characters focus. Your Wario, I love using your Wario too for the same reason. DK, I don't like as much.
I don't like the way he hits and runs. There's something about it.
Yeah, my DK shot is kind of bad. He's a powerful character, and so I used to use him as an enforcer, but I've kind of gone away from him now. And gone with 2 speed characters and 2 enforcers. But yeah, so everything about it is fun. I love the hyper striking. If you do a perfect hyper strike, it's a guaranteed goal. there's a blue and orange. So if you get in the blue on the left and then the blue on the right, it's a perfect one. Always a goal. Mm-hmm. You could do blue and orange. I'm going to guess, do you know that you have a 50% chance of scoring if you do blue-orange? And if you have orange-orange, it's like 25% chance.
Is that a made-up stat, or is that what you...
I don't know. In my head, it makes sense.
Yeah.
There's also, if any of those beams is orange, you have the defensive player has to tap the button to fill up an arrow. And I think that probably improves the odds of stopping the shot.
Now it's like another 50-50 or something, or
maybe 20, like 10, 15, 20%. But I've seen it where I've got double orange and the defense filled up the arrow and I still scored.
Correct. And FYI, the higher the technique is for that character, the bigger that blue bar gets.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Yep. You know, it's like, you'll see, like, if you use like my Wario or Bowser, the blue bar is pretty small. But if you use like a Waluigi or someone, you'll notice that the blue sweet spot is bigger.
Okay.
So it's easier to get a perfect hyper strike.
Good to know. I haven't. I thought I would go for high technique on some characters, but I really haven't. I've gone for like shot and strength for some.
Me too.
But like at this point, I know I use Peach and Toad to like run the ball around. My Bowser is like really a bad passer, but if you can get him the ball and he can get somewhat of a charged shot, he has a really good chance of scoring every time.
Agreed.
If I had one complaint about the gameplay, if you're playing somebody tough, I think you and I are pretty decently tough. Yep. Sometimes it's so hard to get a fucking shot off. You know, you're like, go for a shot and you get hit. You get the ball, you pass it around, you get hit. Sometimes it's hard to get through the wall of defense. It's just, you're constantly getting hit. And sometimes I've had like these stretches where I just can't even get a freaking hit off. And it's like, can I just get a shot off?
Yeah.
Toad, if you get, my favorite shots are getting pretty close to the goalie and getting a charge shot off. So like with Toad and Peach, that's what I aim for with them because they don't have strong shots. I never get a goal in from far distance.
Yeah.
But like I try to get them close. If I can get them close and get a charge shot, I'm really happy and I can score a lot. But man, if it isn't like super hard to just get a fucking shot off.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's like you fight, if you go against a team that has Bowser, Donkey Kong, Wario, it is just brutal.
Yeah.
It is tough, but that's my only maybe a little complaint. It gets a little frustrating. What do you think about the hyper shots? Like getting them off? What's your strategy for getting hyper shots off?
Well, hyper shots they're great and they're aggravating, right?
Yeah.
I mean, me and you have a similar strategy where like we save our items a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I really use items is one, if I have a hyper shot ready, or two, if I already have two items and I'm going to pick up another item, I'll just throw a random one.
Yeah, exactly.
But the strategy is obviously holding on to those items if you can. I like getting over half field and tucking myself right in the corner and just going.
Right in the corner.
You got to remember, once you start the hyper strike, like if you see the players a little far away, as soon as you get it going, it goes down in such slow-mo that they're not going to get to you.
Yeah.
As soon as you hit your second A button to stop like the second bar, there's like another 2 seconds where they can't hit you anymore at that point. Even
once you get to the second part.
Yeah. There's like a little pause before they actually go into the animation.
Okay, and you can't get hit.
You can't get hit once you lock in the second one, regardless. But yeah, I've also had times I feel like I should have hit people. I've had times I feel like there's no way I got hit. It's hard.
Could be a lag thing.
It could be.
Yeah. I love the strategy of doing it. Like you really do need an item. Sometimes you can get lucky if somebody's just not paying attention. But in order to do the hyper strike, you have to get the orb, and then your whole team glows, so it's very obvious. I have had problems where sometimes, is it just me? Sometimes I thought I had the orb, and then I go to do the shot, and you just sit there, and you're like,
I've done that. I've done that because the orb has run out.
Oh, okay, yeah, that will happen too.
You're trying to get it off quick.
But I mean, there's so much going on the screen. Sometimes you're using your periphery vision to think that you have the orb because you're not looking at your character when you're running. You're looking at the whole field. And I thought I had the orb when I didn't. Like that's happened.
It's nice if you have two players. If I'm playing with Amy, like we know her strategy is if she sees the orb, she stops what she's doing and she goes for the orb.
Yes.
So I'll just be playing, and I'll go start the hyper shot, knowing she's getting the orb.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good.
It should if you have 2 players for that.
It's also when you're doing 2-player, we noticed too, where somebody can go for the hyper strike. Like if you know that person's going to go for the hyper strike, you can just wail on somebody.
Exactly.
Right? You're almost like a bodyguard.
Yep. Yeah. Definitely to do that. And then I love when you get the orb, you store a regular goal. I'm sorry, or if the other team stores a goal and you have the ball at the start.
Yes.
If you have an item, it's almost an automatic hyper strike.
Sometimes if the other team's smart, they'll bring the guy from the top down.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes I will do an item and then hit the item like the person they're controlling.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a big strategy. Sometimes they score a goal and you're like, awesome.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Because you're glowing and you're like, yes.
Yep.
I think hyper striking is the biggest key to the game. Getting good at it, understanding how to use your items. I try to use, if you have 2 items, I don't like to hoard them because then the other team can just kick your ass.
Yeah, agreed.
And you're not picking up new items. So you got to make sure that you do use your items. Using items to shoot, it's so easy to get trapped in waiting for orbs. But I will often bring Toad around and try to use an item to give myself the time to do a close range charge shot. Don't always go for the home run with the 2-point orb shot. Because if you have 2 items and you're not using them, like if I see my opponent has 2 items, I will just destroy them until they start using their items because they don't get the benefit of getting another item. That's the key. But yeah, being good with the hyper strikes, I think, is a big key. And so on. It's super fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, if people have questions about it, let us know. Because we've been playing a lot.
Yeah, and the new season starts tomorrow. By tomorrow morning, it'll be live.
Yep.
I'm really curious to see. I'm definitely going to get some games in before I start work.
Nice.
And see what it's all about. I really don't know at all what it's going to be like. Besides, we're raising money. And by the way, like I want to get those little coin goalposts. Can we get those? I don't know if people voted for them, but there's the frame of our goal net has would be like the glass with the coins in them.
Oh,
so cool.
Those look stupid.
No?
I like colored blots. You don't like those?
I don't know.
We'll change them up every once in a while.
I think you need to buy them to unlock other ones.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, we spent $50,000 for the stadium, and now the next stadium is $100,000.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a grind.
Well, I have a feeling that when you play in a season, you're going to get a lot of tokens.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's going to be a bonus. If you finish in first place in your little season, you might get like 25,000 or something.
Maybe. But just imagine what that last one's going to be like 500,000 or $1 million.
I know. We got to get going.
But I think if you buy some of those $1,000 post upgrades, you might unlock more.
Well, I'll go. I mean, I think it only cost us like 3,000, so we could do that and see what happens if we unlock all of them.
No, some of them are like 1,000.
Yeah, but if we bought 3 of them, that's only 3,000.
Yeah, so I would say buy them and just see if it unlocks different ones because there's
eventually you want to buy them all.
And I think there'll be some new ones that come along.
We did unlock new field designs when we upgraded our stadium.
Yes,
they're terrible.
Yeah, they're not. They're not great. I don't even see them. I don't even know what we have right now. You just don't really see it.
We have the coin one. Yeah, no, I agree. You don't really look for it.
Yeah, your brain is occupied. But I do want to get whatever stadium we have now, the block. I want to get the biggest one possible. So,
me too.
Yeah, I don't want to buy any other ones. All right, I think we talked a little too much about Mario Strikers, but super fun. Join our club. Join us in the Strikers Club channel. It's in the Dads After Dark section.
Yep. Join the Discord. We'll send you our private ID number so you can get into the club. And we'll go from there.
We have a couple open spots. And we might have some other open spots. We had one person leave. It's totally, if you're in the club and you're like, I'm not really playing this game. It's not vibing with me. Just let us know and leave. It's fine. I totally expect people to be like, nah, it's not the game I wanted, or I'm just not interested in it. Whatever. Yeah. And the same thing, if you're in the club and you're really not playing it, leave. Honestly, I mean, we're not filled up right now.
Close.
So it's fine.
Two or three spots open. So
if we do get filled, we're probably going to say, hey, we need another spot for somebody. If you're not playing, it's okay to leave. It's fine. You know, just it's fine. It's okay. Cool. All right. Quick topic here. I want to talk about, Drew. I don't know if you tried for this, but Nintendo put the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Special Edition as a exclusive, their own exclusive that they're selling on their own merchandise site. If you've been paying attention over the last year, Nintendo has put some more interesting stuff on their merch site. They have opened up the stuff they sell. Some of the stuff from their Nintendo World Store is available on the merch site. I'll show it to you here. I have the Luigi mug.
Oh, I like that.
That I bought. It's got a green inside. Very cool.
That's cool.
I could buy tons of this shit, but I bought the Luigi mug. And they are selling more games on their site, and now they're selling the Xenoblade 3 Chronicles. And I want to talk about it because it was like a week and a half ago or so, they made a big deal about that it's going on sale. They didn't say what time it was going on sale. We're all waited around our computers, and then they said it's on sale. And it was a clusterfuck. The site went down. Everything was a disaster. Drew, I don't think you tried for this, right? Or
I did not. I'll be honest. I mean, I'm super excited for the game, but the special edition, I mean, I didn't see it as being... I mean, it's what? The steel case, the art book.
The art book stuff. It's kind of boring. Yeah.
I'm not going to... I mean, I might stand through it. I'm not going to do anything
Nothing you could take out of it and put on your desk and be like, cool. You know, there's a little figurine. So pretty bland. And in fact, when I tried to buy it, and I said, if I don't get it, I'm not going to be cut up about it. I'll just get the cheaper standard edition. The one thing that I really noticed about this, though, is that, yes, the site failed, but it failed for a very interesting reason. It failed because Nintendo has a new ordering system in place. They didn't hype it up or anything, but they have basically a line waiting queue. So when you go to the site and you go to the Xenoblade thing and you go to pre-order it, they put you in a queue, much like what Sony was doing with buying PlayStation 5s. You go into a virtual line for a period of time, and then I think they shuffle you up. So even if you got there at the first moment, say 9 o'clock in the morning, it might be 20 minutes before you can really buy it, and then they shuffle up the line. So that means that people with bots or whatever don't automatically get to the front of the line. They give you a time period where everybody can sort of slowly get in that line. And that looks like what they were doing. And that didn't work, sadly. So while it was disappointing that it broke, it wasn't just the normal site behavior. It's very much like Best Buy. Best Buy does this as well, where some of their products, you go into a line and you just sit there and you wait, and then they handle you. So we haven't heard yet when Xenoblade 3 is going back on sale. But when it does, hopefully we'll see their new line waiting system. And this could really help out with exclusive stuff. They've had a lot of problems with these special editions selling out in like a split second with various retailers. And I think Nintendo is taking it into their own hands with the Amiibo and all that jazz. And I think they're going to sell more of these special editions just on their own site with this sort of system. So I'm really excited to see when they give it another try. And I want to see how this system works. So, but a huge clusterfuck. They still have not put it on sale yet. And the game comes out July 29th. So we're 40 days away and they have not put it back on sale. They're clearly developing and doing some more, large scale testing and that sort of thing. It's going to be cool. You're still not going to try for it though, right? You just don't want it.
I just don't really have an interest. I'll just gonna buy it physical when it comes out.
All right. Let's move on to what I think is going to be your favorite topic, Drew. The Summer Game Fest, not E3.
Not E3.
Right. We're not going to call it not E3. It's not E3.
Correct.
The Summer Game Fest, which is basically just a loose consortium of publishers advertising what they are going to be putting out this year or next year or 2026 in some cases. And there was a bunch of pretty cool presentations. I'm not sure how many you watched, but let's go over the highlights of some of these real quick. See what caught your eye, what caught my eye. We're not going to go through all these games. Just going to hit the highlights. There's too much shit and probably a lot of shit we don't care about. Limited run games. Here's the big highlights from that one. First of all, they did not do their usual fake stage presentation they've been doing. It's always been a very badly CGI'd like as if they were doing like the Game Awards. But they did I thought it was pretty cool. A full motion video. I put FML in the notes. It's FMV. Like an old style FMV presentation. So it was a very low res version. I thought it was actually pretty good. I'm not into the whole let's just do this whole like movie thing. It's like just show me your games. But I thought it was actually pretty good and harken back to those old FMV games. They went through that there's a Garden Story physical edition. Please God, nobody play Garden Story. It's just not good. The big one for me, the Plumbers Don't Wear Ties Definitive Edition physical version, which was supposed to come out this year. It's coming out in 2022. I don't know if that means that's when pre-orders start, but I am totally buying that. I have been wanting to play this game ever since I saw videos of it online. Blossom Tales 2 is going to get a physical edition. I know you're excited about that one.
I'll probably buy it.
Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, multiple editions. Those are on sale right now. So if you're interested in some big special editions, including that $200 one with a Pizza Hut coupon in it, you can go to Limited Run Games right now before those pre-orders end. Otherwise, they advertised a lot of games that they've put out in the past, but different versions, like PS5 versions. They're doing Xbox versions of some games now. So there was a lot of repeat. I think we've kind of exited the sweet spot for LRG where it's like, oh yeah, this game we've done physically, but we're doing it for a different console. One game that I thought was really excited to see was D. This was one of my favorite games on 3DO, and it's getting a physical version for some other consoles. Very neat. Tetris Effect Connected is getting a physical version, and it is in the shape of a Tetramino. Very neat box.
What are you?
Very neat box. I'm almost tempted.
Of course.
But Tetris Effect Connected, I think, is a little overrated for what it is. It's just Tetris with some cool music and stuff. It's enjoyable. Love it on the OLED screen. But I don't know if I'm going to buy a physical version of it. And then Doom Eternal, which is coming out to some other system. I don't know. Or maybe it didn't have a physical version. I don't know if I noticed. I don't know if I've ever noticed it had a physical version or not. Very weird that LRG is doing stuff with Bethesda. It just seems like why doesn't Bethesda just put games out in boxes? I don't know. But yeah, you're excited about Blossom Tales too, right?
Yeah, you gonna play it?
I've been wanting to replay Blossom Tales. I've played it before. I've beaten it. I want to play it again before. Yeah. I don't know if I'm getting the physical version though.
I won't. Yeah, I probably won't either.
Okay, you're just excited for the game.
Isn't you have to wait for the physical, right?
Usually the way these work is like, yeah, the physical version will come out after the digital game.
Yeah,
and that can be annoying at times because if you get so hyped up for a game that you want the physical version, well, now you can't play the game. This happened to me with Bug Fables. I wanted to play Bug Fables and I waited for freaking a year to get a physical version. Looks like Blossom Tales 2, The Minotaur Prince is coming in August of this year, August 16th. So we are less than 2 months away from Blossom Tales 2.
That's right before vacation. That's a perfect game to play on a plane.
Yep. I do not see it up for pre-order yet. So yeah, it's probably just not going to be available until after. They have the Tetris Effect Connected is up there. The $100 Switch physical edition, which I mentioned is like a Tetramino box. It actually comes with 32 postcards. I am so stupid postcards.
What do you do with them?
Some enamel pins, a soundtrack, which can we talk about? They do these soundtracks on CD and it's like nobody uses CDs. So I get it. It's a set. You want to give something physical, but it's like, my God, what a waste. Like nobody has a CD player anymore. Yeah. So that's cool. But yeah, I might play Blossom Tales and I might play the sequel when it comes out. All right. Oh, yeah, but I'm definitely getting Plumbers Don't Wear Ties.
I don't look that one up. I'm not sure.
It is the shittiest game.
You showed me that Luigi mug, and now I'm suckered into the Nintendo shop right now.
Oh, you did look a little distracted.
There's a Bowser mug. Definitely getting that.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff on there.
And there's a Donkey Kong plushie that I don't have. That's pretty cool.
Must get plushie. All right. Then we've had, I don't think these are in any particular order, just the order of my notes. Then we had the main Summer Game Fest, which I think the whole thing is called the Summer Game Fest, but they have the main presentation. This was a 2-hour presentation done by Jeff Keighley himself. And it featured games and a lot of like developers and executives coming on the little fake stage to talk about it. There wasn't an audience or anything. But I think they did do this like live streaming to IMAX theaters. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, they had a bunch of games they went through with some interviews. The highlights to me were Callisto Protocol, which looks like a horror game. That might be interesting because it's actually third person. The Cuphead DLC they talked about, which was cool to see. And I don't think we talked about this, but the DLC is $8. That's the first time we found out that it'll cost weird money. Reason.
I mean, should. Don't be wrong. It should cost money, but yeah. I thought it was free. I don't know why I thought we heard that before.
I tried to look up articles that said it was free, that it was included with the game. I couldn't find them, but I didn't search for a long time. I thought so too. Clearly, they've been working on this for multiple years. This is one of the latest arriving DLCs we've ever seen.
We talked about this, Beth. Yeah. Why not just make this 2?
They should just make it 2. And it's standalone from the first game, as far as I know. You go to DLC weird. Island.
Weird.
So yeah, it's $8. I'm paying it. That I have no problem giving them the money. I just thought it was going to be free. So that's coming out June 30th. That's coming up soon. They could have
released it as, Cuphead 1.5 for $9.99, and people would have bought it.
Yeah, totally. Shredder's Revenge got a announcement date of June 16th. That's when we knew it was coming out, and now it's already out. So that was cool. And then he ended with what I was the most excited about was The Last of Us remake. It's been redubbed Last of Us Part 1 because the original game was just called The Last of Us. And then the second one was called Part 2. So now this one's called Part 1. And we knew that we kind of knew there was a remake coming. I think it was just rumors. But the big thing here, and by the way, this did get spoiled the morning of. So we knew about it. I think PlayStation or Sony had uploaded a video and someone saw. It got a little bit spoiled. But what we learned about The Last of Us remake is that it is a remake. They did take a lot of resources, but it's kind of rebuilt. The scenes that we've seen look like they're just taking the motion capture and reapplying them in a new way, but it is the same motion capture. But we've heard that the game itself, the mechanics are going to be a bit different. And we haven't seen any gameplay yet. So really excited about it. It is coming out. I didn't write it down. It is coming out in September, early September. It's going to be a day one for me. Last of Us, I think, while it is lower in my list of favorite games of all time, I kind of regard this as maybe one of the greatest games ever made. It's just such an achievement from story to graphics to gameplay. It just does everything great. It's one of the few games where you'll cry very early on and then cry at the end too. Usually games, you just cry. I know the whole crying thing. Nick and Sean have of hearts of stone. But you're right there. But there's some very sad moment. There's a very sad moment very early in the game. Just a fantastic game. I can't wait to play the remake. So that was Summer Game Fest. They also had the problem with very samey games. It was shooter. We were all sitting there live chatting about it. Shooter. It was like, come on. But then the latter half did break it up a little bit. But very much just these very serious shooter games. Ugh, whatever. We had Devolver Digital doing theirs. My favorite company. I actually love a lot of their games.
Me too, but didn't we just find out a lot about them?
Find out what?
Games what was that other direct that we saw or something?
Well, Devolver Digital's, Cult of the Lamb was announced for Switch, which was a new announcement. We had known about Cult of the Lamb previously, but this announced that it was coming for Switch. I think it was the Indie World that showed Cult of the Lamb. No, it's not right. We learned about Cult of the Lamb, and we assumed there would be a Switch version.
Yeah, the Indie Direct. In May? When was the Nintendo Indie Direct?
I am confused now. I thought we just learned that it was coming out on Switch, but when did we see Cult of the Lamb the first time?
When was the Indie Direct last? That would have been April?
It was before Game Fest. Was it on
there?
Yeah. All right. I might be confused then.
Yes, it was on there.
So Cult of the Lamb, they showed that. We've seen that before. The Plucky Squire, they announced. Not much else of interest. I went through this and, they had some other games, Angry Foot or something like that. But nothing really looked great. Digital Devolver is one of my favorite publishers, and I hate their presentations, but I love their games. But honestly, even though the Plucky Squire, you saw the Plucky Squire, right?
Yeah.
Looks incredible. Looks such a great game. It looks beautiful. I can't wait to play it. But yeah, I don't know. There wasn't a lot else going on in this presentation. Cult of the Lamb looks fine, but I'm not totally into this one either. Is there anything? Did you see anything else? Did you watch this one yet?
I did not.
Okay. But the Plucky Squire looks amazing. Now, Digital Devolver was up to the same shit again. It looks like they throttled back the over gory violence. I think we are in a time period, and it's a good thing they did. We're in a time period where I think we're just getting less tolerant of that sort of thing. But they did have a very obscenity-laden story about a marketing department. I gladly skipped through most of it. They love to just make a movie nobody wants to see. There's always people that really enjoy this stuff. Good for you if you enjoy it. But my God. So I actually calculated it. I went through the timestamps. 21% of this presentation was showing a game. 21%.
That's dedication.
Had a game running. So I think they put this filler in because they don't have a lot to show. But please God, 21%. So I don't know. But it's basically like watching a movie that my friend and I would make when we were 15 years old on a camcorder. Really bad, whatever. I don't know. Some people found it funny. At least there wasn't blood splatter all over the place this time. But it's just not for me anyway. Okay, so that's Digital Devolver. IGN Expo did one that was really boring and way too long. Total miss, if you ask me. Nothing of interest that I saw. And I got it was, I think, a few hours or something like that. It was ungodly. Please don't do that again, IGN. We don't have the attention span for 3 hours of a show. My favorite presentation this time around was the Tribeca Game Spotlight. Who knew?
Who knew?
They had very narrative-driven games. That was their thing, because Tribeca is like the movie thing, right? Tribeca Film Festival. And guys, if you're not watching Drew's camera right now, he is so disinterested. I am trying to carry on.
John, I told you going into this.
Did you order the Bowser mug?
I'm close. I'm so close.
The Tribeca Games Spotlight had, and I put in the highlights, my highlights. As Dusk Falls, A Plague Tale Requiem, Cuphead Delicious Last Course, which we saw in the other one, but they approached it in a different way. Oxenfree 2, Lost Signals, Immortality, and American Arcadia. All of these games I am interested in.
Why does it say Truman Show?
So American Arcadia is, I think the basic story is you are living in sort of like a Truman Show type plot line.
Okay. Yep.
Your life is televised. I don't know much about it, but the gameplay looks cool. The art style is a little interesting. Little 3D retro in some way. But that game looks cool. Immortality is a Sam Barlow game. The guy who did Her Story. We talked about this. Her Story, Telling Lies. Very particular genre. You've never played a game like it. This one's about an actress that I guess has gone missing, and you look through found footage of movies that she did.
Okay.
And they have an interesting new way of going from clip to clip, where it's based on, you might see somebody's face in one movie and you click and you can follow them into a segment into another movie. Stuff like that looks really interesting. I'm super excited for this. I love all his games. Oxenfree 2, awesome. We've seen that before. Cuphead Delicious Last Course. They had already shown that at Summer Game Fest, but they actually did some interviews with this one and kind of went into more details. Plague Tale Requiem, I've mentioned on this many times. A Plague Tale Innocence is really one of the most underrated games I've ever seen in my life. It is an astounding game, great story, great gameplay. Play it on Game Pass if you can. But this is the sequel. I plan on buying the original and the sequel on PS5. Just love these games. They're really good. And then As Dusk Falls is an Xbox published game, unfortunately. It's the one, we've seen this before, where it's a narrative game, but instead of getting like video or highly realistic 3D graphics, you're getting sort of these screenshots. I almost want to say it's like the plumber game. Plumbers don't wear ties. But instead of like screenshots, it is fluid screenshots, very artistic and very cool. And apparently it follows the story of two families over 30 years. There was basically one family was victimized by the other in a crime. And it follows the stories about how the victimized family deals with that. And then kind of the inner mechanics of the crime family and like disagreements about what they did. Looks fascinating, and one of those games where you can play it multiple times and get different outcomes and that sort of thing. Interesting part is it's multiplayer. They have a system set up. I don't know how many people are going to use this, but a system set up where you can vote on the decision. So think about a Life is Strange game where there's a big critical decision, but instead of just one player doing that, you can have votes to do it.
Yeah. Sounds even worse.
Yeah, neat. Now, I think it's a neat concept, and I don't know how they're going to kind of implement it. I think you can follow along on mobile. I have no idea. It's really weird. But these story-based games are pretty long, so if you have company over, you're going to be playing this game maybe over the span of months. I don't know how good of a party game this is going to be. And if you're playing in a room...
It's not a party game?
But they're going for that, like, concept of multiple people can sort of vote on which way to go. If you've ever I've played Life is Strange with company in the room, my wife or something, and like a decision will come up and we will discuss which way we should go. It's not a formal voting system, but we're all talking about it.
You can watch those on Netflix nowadays, John.
Yeah, I know. I think it's a little gimmicky, but I'm curious to see what they actually do. But I don't think it's necessary. I think it's a little gimmicky. So we'll see. But it looks great. I don't know if I'll be able to play this. I'll probably just spring for Game Pass just to play this one next month. But it looks fantastic. So I'm really curious to see. So very excited about Tribeca. And then there was Microsoft and Bethesda, which I think was probably the best objective presentation of the whole show. It went for about an hour and a half. Some big game announcements, some games that we hadn't seen footage for. I know you haven't watched this one there, buddy. But I broke it out into, because some of these presentations can be really exciting, and then you realize that game is multi-platform, right? The PlayStation presentation showed Street Fighter 6. It's not exclusive to PlayStation, so anybody can be excited about it. And the same comes here. There are some exclusives. The big exclusives from Xbox that I can tell are As Dusk Falls. Not a big exclusive. I don't know how many people will actually play it, but I'm super excited about it, so it's a big exclusive to me. Redfall, Forza Motorsport, some game that Kojima's working on. Great. We'll see it in 4 or 5 years. Fantastic. I'm not a big Kojima fan, but Xbox threw some big time money at him, and he's going to make a game for them. And then Starfield, which we finally saw footage of. So these are the big things. And then cross-platform, from what I can tell, Diablo 4. I love seeing Diablo 4 revealed. Did you watch the trailer for Diablo 4?
You know, I'm not going to lie. I forgot.
You didn't? How could you watch it right now? I'll continue to talk about it. Just look at the Diablo 4 trailer, please.
I'm so excited.
My God. I want to apologize for my partner here. You're so excited for it. I don't think it's going to be coming to Switch, especially not day one. So this is going to be a problem if we're going to play this. Overwatch 2 we got to see Overwatch 2. That's going free to play. Silksong, oddly, We finally saw more footage for Silksong. Nothing mind-blowing, but and really, I watched the trailer 3 times, and I'm like, that's exactly what we thought the game was going to be. We saw similar footage 3 years ago. But it was cool to see it finally make another appearance, oddly on an Xbox One. They did announce it would be on Game Pass day 1. Did not give us a release date. What? Where's the release date? We've seen what this game looks like. What's the release date? But we might get that one in the Nintendo presentation. Plague Tale Requiem, Diablo 4. I put that in twice. Diablo 4 is so good.
It's okay.
And I think a pretty big announcement is that Persona 3, 4, and 5 are going to come to Xbox, and specifically Game Pass, which I think is very cool. This is the first time the mainline Persona games are leaving the PlayStation universe, and they're going to be on Xbox. One thing did bug me, and I've mentioned this multiple times on Twitter.
Okay.
Phil Spencer said something interesting. He said, "We have heard you that you want to see more Japanese RPGs on Xbox. And I am pleased to announce that Atlas is bringing Persona 3, 4, and 5 to Xbox." At that moment, I was like, wow. I mean, Microsoft's trying to buy their success, we know. But like, wow, they threw money at Atlas to get those games ported to the Xbox. That's a big win for them. But we also found out that Persona 3 and 4 are coming to PlayStation, because those weren't on PlayStation. They were on the Vita and the PSP. And then we also heard they're coming to PC as well. And we're suspecting that these are now coming to the Switch. I will hold my judgment on this, but I think Phil Spencer was kind of telling a lie.
He tried to take credit. Yeah.
He made it sound like Xbox was like commissioning this or something. I think this is something Atlas was doing. If these do get announced for Nintendo Switch, I'm going to call bullshit on Phil Spencer. I'm going to call bullshit on it. I think he tried to position that in a way. I think this is coming to all platforms now. And that's it. There's no way they're porting this to PC and PlayStation, and Xbox was something special. I think we'll see it on Switch. But no, that's still really cool that it's coming to other platforms, because this was a game I wanted to play. And one of the reasons I switched to PlayStation was I wanted to play Persona 5. So, and specifically Persona 5 Royale is coming, which is cool. I'm playing the vanilla version because I had Persona 5 on disc. I made a trade with Brian. I traded him my Last Guardian for it. It's also on PS Plus. But I didn't want to play Royale because I think it was just going to add length to a 100-hour game. I'm good at 100. I don't need 110 hours of content.
Well, what's 10 more?
But it was a great presentation. There was a ton more games that they announced as well. These are just my highlights. Go listen to Game Pass News for bigger coverage on it. But yeah, they had a really great presentation. Diablo 4, day 1 for me on PlayStation.
What does happen if this doesn't come out for me?
I mean, I'm playing without you, I guess.
I watched the trailer. It looks great. Fucking awesome.
What were your impressions of it?
It looked awesome. I mean, it's the same, but it looks so new at the same time that it's hard to explain. Just looks at a different style in a weird way, but not. You know what I'm saying? It's fresh. Yeah, it's fresh.
My big impression I came from it was, it felt like they were accentuating the multiplayer more. And they said there's 150 dungeons to go through and all that jazz. The thing that always bugs me with Diablo 3 is I feel like I'm missing something by not doing the campaign. They make you play these little campaign segments.
Yep.
And it's just random and it feels weird. I don't want a campaign. I thought maybe they weren't going to have a campaign, but it sounds like there is a campaign. I just really hope that the multiplayer isn't like these little cheap segments.
What they need to make it is like an MMO, but you don't have to have it an open world concept of having multiple online players. So like an offline MMO that you could join servers with your friends and people.
Yes.
All right. So you don't need to have this open world concept that has millions or thousands of people. Tap it at like 10 or 8. That's fine too.
Right.
But that's what they need to do. I 100% agree, where you jump and do side missions. And I think that was one thing they lacked at, was that side mission and like executed them well, right? Just it was always like you picked up a little side mission, and it wasn't a focus point. You know, it was kind of hard to follow. It didn't really feel like it was like a big reward. It was just weird. The only way you really got rewards was doing a dungeon and opening a chest. Like, you know, they did have a little bit more with that type of stuff.
Yeah, some of the quests were like beat this boss, and it was weird because it's like a section of the campaign, and sometimes it's like I don't know where the boss is. It was very difficult navigation because they were plopping you into a world that was way bigger than you need. You could go totally in a different direction and see things, but it wasn't part of the quest. I'd like to see it a little bit more focused.
The problem was the world was difficult to navigate.
Yes.
You know, so we'll see.
Yeah, and Diablo 3 also had that very randomized dungeon thing. And so it could get a little monotonous. It was the same thing. I'd like to see a little bit more custom creation of the dungeons. Like, I want these 150 dungeons to be handcrafted. I don't know. Like, maybe not. Maybe you need that randomization, but I'm hoping they just do a little different thing. But it looked great.
Agreed.
And isn't it weird that they announced... Did you watch the trailer where they announced the Necromancer?
I just watched the Necromancer trailer.
And wasn't it odd? Like, there's always been a Necromancer. This isn't a new character. It's just this is newly announced for Diablo 4. But really, like, I don't know. Like, announce
all the characters are none of them are new so far.
I think they said there's 4 or 5, and they're all kind of the same.
So far,
Can we do something different?
Barbarian, a Druid, Necromancer, Rogue, which might be new, and Sorcerer. The Rogue might be new, but that might just be another name for an archer. That's what it looks like.
I hope it's new. I don't know, shake it up a little bit. I love the Necromancer. I think it's one of the coolest characters in all of Diablo.
Me too.
You just like, you raise up the dead. It's like the spikes from the ground.
Yeah. I've always liked wizard or sorcerer.
Yeah, do something different. Get a funny character. Like, you know, they need their piranha plant.
Like a jester or something.
Yeah, do something different.
I remember Gauntlet Legends used to have a jester. He used to carry around with a bomb bag, and they would throw bombs at you.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty much a ranged attack fighter.
Yeah.
You know, but they should do something like that, or do like a trapper. You know, be something a little unique. I agree.
Something different. Yeah. I'd love to see that.
Maybe they will. I'm sure they have at least 1 or 2 new. They usually do 2.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, a new Diablo game comes out with 2 new classes.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they just released all the ones that are existing.
Yep. Yeah, there will be DLC with new characters, obviously.
Yep.
It made me a little nervous because like Xbox now owns Activision Blizzard. So it's like any given time, like maybe is Diablo 5 going to be, you know, Xbox exclusive? Are they going to do that? I don't know what their business strategy is going to be. But it's like, it's always scary that they can decide like Starfield is going to be an Xbox exclusive. I don't really care about Starfield, so I'm fine. But Diablo, I do. So, you know, I'm a little worried that one day they're going to say the next Diablo is Xbox only. There's 2 ways, you know, they'll make more money if they make it cross-platform, but they'll have more people on their platform if they make it exclusive, and they'll sell less. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, this presentation was exciting. There was a lot of cool stuff. But at the same time, it does remind me why I just lost interest in Xbox. There's just so many of the games like Redfall. I'm just not interested in that kind of game. So, you know, As Dusk Falls is really exciting and cool, and I'm glad Xbox is going in that direction. It's a very un-Xboxy game, and I wonder how successful it will be on the platform. I don't think it'll get a lot of play on Xbox. I think people are there for multiplayer shooters, that sort of thing. But I'm glad that they are trying to diversify their lineup a little bit. Capcom did a presentation. It makes you realize Capcom has fewer franchises, but they have tons of games in each series. Yeah. So they talked about Monster Hunter Rise. We got Sunbreak that comes out in 11 days. Very exciting. I took 2 days off of work. Wow. I'm taking the 30th and the 1st, Thursday and Friday, off to have a little 4-day Monster Hunter weekend.
Actually, I'm off the 30th.
You could play some Monster Hunter with me. I don't know. Where did you end up with Monster Hunter?
I forget. I mean, I rolled credits, but I know you don't really roll credits in that game. But
there's like 5 layers of credits.
I know. Listen, on like the layer of Monster Hunter. I love the idea and concept. It just gets very repetitive. It's a repetitive game where it's not a quick repetitiveness, so it's okay. It's like a long repetitive.
Yeah.
So I have a problem with it. I love the idea of it. Like I said, I've played the last one that was on the Wii U or whatever the hell it was. I loved it, but like I can't date it an hour, 100 hours into this game. I just don't have it in me. It's too repetitive.
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for like collecting and upgrading your armor and weapons. Like I love that shit. That's why I love Diablo.
Mm-hmm.
But Monster Hunter just gets to me. It's I'm more of the straight up hack and slash. I think it's just fighting a monster for 30 to 60 minutes just doesn't do it for me.
I totally feel you. I actually, that's the first time I fell off Monster Hunter was like then. It was like, oh, there's all these quests, but my gosh, there's each little battle. Sometimes you got to do like fight 3 monsters and you're just like, I'm not in the freaking mood.
I'd rather just play a hard boss and like keep dying even. Like, but at the end of the day, the boss battles are 5 to 8 minutes. Like
yeah.
You know, I don't know.
I agree. I did start digging into it. I can do those little 20, 25 minute fights with a monster. I don't know. It's such a rush. And when you're playing with random people, I always play with randos. And it's so much fun when you beat a monster and you just feel like that camaraderie, like we did it. All right, good job. So I can't wait for Sunbreak. I'm going to be playing a lot of it. They talked about Street Fighter 6 some more. I don't give a shit at all. They talked about a game called Exoprimal, which they're really trying to hype up. It looks like shit as well. I don't know if somebody's into it. I don't care about that at all. Resident Evil 8. They announced a gold edition that is going to include a third-person view because Resident Evil 8 is a first-person game. And in fact, the history of Resident Evil is third-person until they got to 7. Then 8 was also first-person. So there's going to be a third-person way to play the game, which is cool because I might play it. There's a DLC episode, Shadows of Rose, and then Reverse, which is some multiplayer thing. Lot of cool stuff. I was really hyped for it, and my first reaction was, I'm going to play 8 in third-person view. I'm going to play 2 and 3, the remakes. I'm going to play the 4 remake. And I might actually bring my Switch up and play game 1 through. And that hype ended after a day. After a day, I said, no, I'm not going to play any of it.
I feel like that happens a lot with you, John. You get excited because you like video games, you like chatting about them, and then it's like reality hits in. You're like, nah, I'm not going to do that.
Well, each game is not super long, so that's what I like about the Resident Evil games. But honestly, I haven't played a ton of them. But the 2 and 3 and 4 remakes look really good, and I loved 4. But yeah, I just don't want to get into playing all of them. And like playing 8 in third person, that's not the way it was supposed to be played. And you got to get the gold edition to play that. I don't know. So I'll probably just not play any of it ever. And then they weirdly talked about Dragon's Dogma 10th anniversary edition, which is something I had heard about. And they were hyping up the 10th anniversary. And that was it. It was very weird. A couple days later, they announced that there's going to be a Dragon's Dogma 2. So that's cool, I guess.
Describe to me this game, because it looks kind of like my cup of tea. What's the play style?
So here's
turn-based. What is it?
Here's the thing, Drew. They announced Dragon's Dogma 2, and then Dan Caparello was on Nintendo Dads this week, and he said people should play this game. It's really cool. And it's like, and I looked at the trailer and I was like, yeah, it does look pretty cool. And I watched the Let's Play on Switch and I said, it actually looks pretty smooth. Yep. So I had it on my shelf already. I had bought it a long time ago for some reason.
Of course,
took off the plastic, and for about 45 minutes, I played it in the car.
Wow.
And it's not bad. It's to me, in my limited playtime, it's like a Skyrim. It's like an open world sort of thing.
Yep.
You just get quests. And you do quests, and you get more quests, and you do more quests, and you level up, and you do this and that.
Is it a hack and slash type?
I would say action RPG. You fight dragons, you fight people. It's a little ugly, especially on the Switch. I don't know what it looks like on other platforms. The game is like 10 years old.
Yeah.
Then they sort of updated a bit, and that's what Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen is. So there was an original game, and then they did the Dark Arisen, which was sort of like an update. change some game mechanics.
So
that's the one on the Switch.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a little ugly. I picked a character that I thought was pretty hot. And then when I was playing, I was like, her face is really ganky. And yeah, but at the same time, so I stopped. So I'm not playing it, but I might go to this in the future. If I get a break,
how much is this?
I might play it. Right now, there's just too much coming out.
Oh my god, it's about your birthday again?
It looks interesting. Yeah. So Dragon's Dogma 2 looks a lot like Dragon Dogma 1. It'll look better, obviously, but yeah, it's on Switch. It might be a cup of tea. So
$10 on sale right now. Digitally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would say probably worth it. I haven't played a lot of it, but for $10, it's not bad. I love that cycle of there's like, give me a quest, let me go do it, let me report it back to you, and give me more. How
long is it on sale for? Why doesn't it show that? Sometimes it shows that.
It shows it in the eShop. It should show it all the time.
I know.
Maybe not on the web. You might have to do it on the device.
Only on the website.
Yeah, on the device. All right, let me know about that. And then the last one, not a Squeenix presentation, but a Final Fantasy celebration. But it had a couple big announcements, most notably that we're getting Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is the sequel to the remake. If you remember, Final Fantasy VII is a large game from the PlayStation, and Final Fantasy VII Remake was the first part of the story. It was not the whole game. We're going to get the game in several episodes over God knows how long. But we're finally getting the second one, Rebirth. And oddly enough, you would think this is just a sequel to it and tells more of the Final Fantasy VII story, but a couple of tidbits from this. One, they seem to accentuate that you could play this game independently of Remake. You do not need to play Remake to play this game, which is weird. And they also are changing the story around a little bit from Final Fantasy VII. So even if you know the whole story from Final Fantasy VII, this story is going to be different. And I wonder how much of that is just people who played Final Fantasy VII not interested in the remake because it's the same story, even though the gameplay is so different and the graphics are so upgraded that it tells the story in such a more beautiful way. So weird things going on with this, but I think I kind of want to play Remake someday. So I'm excited that Rebirth is coming in winter of 2023, which means it's either coming out in January or it's coming out in December. 12-month window there. No, it's coming out. This
game is to June 22nd.
Okay, so we got a couple more days if you're listening to this. And that's it. That's all the presentations. I think there was some other stuff, but I didn't really see anything of note. There was one presentation that had some neat indie games. I thought I had written that down somewhere over here. Did I miss it? But I know there was, off the top of my head, there was a little indie game called, I think from Days of the Dev, called A Little to the Left, which is just totally my cup of tea. I don't know if you saw that one. Basically a series of puzzle games you solve just sort of with things around the house. Huh. So the example they used was, the little tags they put on bread, you tie on the bread, and they have these little like corner edges on them, and they turned that into like a puzzle, and you had to solve it. So it's just one of those really chill looking games. You just relax and play the puzzle. But here's the twist. You have a cat, and sometimes the cat comes around and fucks up your puzzle.
Oh, I saw this stupid thing. That's all you had to say.
Yeah, the developers gave kind of a weird little interview about it because it was based on their real life cat. But totally looks cool. I'm totally into this kind of gameplay. And then there was a gameplay where you're a fly and you have a series of quests to do, but you die pretty quickly because you're a fly. And it had sort of a Untitled Goose Game sort of thing going where here's a checklist of some mundane tasks and you just want to check them off. Graphically, it was weird. I don't think I'm interested in it, but I love the game concept. So I think a lot of people were really excited about this one. So that was definitely noteworthy. But yeah, that's it. Guess who's missing, Drew?
Who's missing?
Nintendo.
Well, yeah. Well,
they did not do a presentation.
Thinking we'll see one last week?
I think so. There's big time rumors for June 29th. I think we'll get an announcement either this week or the week after that. If we don't, I'd be a very disappointed boy.
That we all would be.
Do you think we're going to get one?
I hope so. I don't know. I mean,
I want anger.
I don't know. No,
we need one.
Know.
I think
sure. We'd have plenty of shit coming out though. I'm busy.
I
now.
know we do have a lot, but I want to know more of the roadmap.
I would like to see what's going on with, honestly, like Mario and Zelda, like non-existent for their big two franchises like that. We don't know anything.
Do you think that, because we kind of expected that we'd get like an E3 Breath of the Wild 2 look, that was before it was delayed. Do you think they're going to show off Breath of the Wild in the next couple weeks? Breath of the Wild 2?
No, I think they're going to show off some Mario game. They have to have some new Mario game that's coming out this holiday. That's what I think.
Do you think the new Mario game would be an Odyssey 2? Or do you think it'll be a more expanded Bowser's Fury sort of style game? And which would you rather see? Or do you think it'll be Odyssey 2, Bowser's Fury, and it'll be both?
I would prefer an Odyssey.
Okay.
I liked Bowser's Fury.
I
but it
loved
looked fantastic and it was fun. But I prefer Odyssey.
Okay.
I prefer that I've always loved ever since Mario 64. That's what I want 3D Mario games to be.
Okay. I would rather see a Bowser's Fury more fully fleshed out, but I would be happy with either.
Essentially the same game. They're 3D Mario platformers. I mean, at the end of the day, different, tape.
I will never forget that we flew out to Disney World in Florida right after Super Mario Odyssey came out. So I think it was like that holiday. And I was on the plane. I don't like flying at all. And I played Odyssey the entire time on the plane. And before I knew it, ding, we were landing. And it was like, wow, Mario Odyssey made this flight go by in a split second. It was incredible. So I will always save a game for a flight. I would like to see, because I can't go an episode without saying it, where is Life is Strange Remastered Collection for Switch?
Oh my God.
No, I mean, like, it was supposed to come out in September of last year, and then it was supposed to come out in February. It's now end of June, and we don't have a date. So where the hell is it?
I guess my question is too, is if we were to see a Nintendo Direct, do we see a lot of these third-party type or indie type games, or no, we don't?
Well, they announced Life is Strange Remastered Collection on a Direct, so yeah they will. I mean,
I'm thinking like Sports Story.
I don't think...
What's one of the other big ones? I mean, I don't think
it could be
that. I don't know if it'd be... Would it be in a Nintendo Direct, though?
I think Silk Song is big enough to be in a Direct, and I actually think we will see a release date. I think there's a possibility of some console exclusivity, limited exclusivity, but I'm not going to guarantee that. I think Nintendo is going to announce the release date for Silk Song.
I think you also need a Bayonetta release date.
I think we'll get a Bayonetta. That's what I want to see, a Bayonetta 3 release date or delay, but I think we'll get more information on that. I think we will see Breath of the Wild 2. I think it will be the big reveal of Breath of the Wild 2.
I don't think, and the reason why I say no is because I think you have to have a Mario game. And if they're showing a brand new Mario IP, they're not going to drown that out with Breath of the Wild 2.
Ooh, but wouldn't it be great if they did?
I don't think they would do both. I just don't. Plus, we need a Splatoon 3 date. There's so many dates that we need.
Yeah, and okay, so here's the dream direct for me. Okay, let me know let me know if you agree with this. Dream direct for me is we get. I'll just go based off what you say. Either reveal of a new Mario game or reveal of a Breath of the Wild game, but probably not both.
Agree.
I think
100% agree.
I think it's possible, but I agree with you. I think probably just one. Okay,
I would say 70 Mario, 30 Zelda, maybe 75 Mario. I don't think we've seen a Zelda.
I think it's 75 Zelda, 25 Mario, because we know Breath of the Wild 2 is coming.
Yeah, but we
don't know anything about Mario.
But Mario's always one of those coming out in 3 or 4 months.
3 or 4. Yeah, but we haven't seen a Mario game since 2017. Either way, we're going to get one of those two. That would be part of the dream. Bayonetta 3, more gameplay, maybe more details about the game because we don't know too much.
That's a given. I think that has to be a given.
Okay, with a release date. If we're talking about dream scenarios, that the original voice actress is going to voice Bayonetta.
Oh God.
I would like to see that. Silk Song, we get a release date. I think it's possible. Follow me here. We are in the era of Game Pass and now PS Plus and game services. We see Luna, we see Stadia, we see exclusives, that sort of thing. I think one thing we're going to start to see is something that we've seen from, I believe, Netflix, which is a game will come out launch day, but it won't be on a streaming service for 30 days. You know how that works with Netflix where a new release comes out? Because I think they want those 30 days to sell Blu-ray, DVD, whatever.
Yeah.
And then it comes to the service. So the people who are really hardcore will actually buy it.
Yeah.
And then the general audience can watch it and they'll get paid for it. I think it's possible that we get a release date for Silk Song, and it is a Nintendo exclusive for a month before it then goes to Game Pass, maybe PS Plus, that sort of thing. I think the industry is going to go in that direction where they want to get their sales in. They make more money on sales. They make a batch of money from the services. I think you're going to see games that start to come out not on the service.
Interesting.
So it might be that Nintendo is going to announce the release date for Silk Song, and it'll be console exclusive for a month.
Wow. I think we also see Star Wars Hunters. Is that a Nintendo exclusive for some reason?
I don't know.
I gotta look that
Why
up.
would it be? You look that up. Life is Strange release date. That's just a dream for me. What else do you think? I think Plague Tale Requiem will. I know it's supposed to be on the cloud for Switch. I'd like to see a day one announcement for that.
This is interesting. Star Wars will be a free download for Nintendo Switch, App Store, and Google Play in 2022. It's all it's been announced for.
Interesting.
I think we see a release.
I can see that coming to other ones, but
maybe eventually.
Yeah.
Disney likes to play with.
What else do you think is like dream scenario? Maybe Sports Story promotes. I still think that's an indie world thing still.
I know, but where is it?
Yeah, we should be getting that soon, but that's possible to make it into a direct. That's very possible. And what else?
Well, the other
here's the other one. Splatoon 3. They announced the Fortnite style battle island.
Can't wait.
If that is a thing, I am just all in. Take a week off, play Splatoon in September.
It's silly if they don't do that. And
it would be.
Why else would they be coming out with a Splatoon 3 already? It's got to be something. It's not for the campaign mode. It's got to be for something new online.
Yes.
And it's that.
First game gave us Turf War. Second game gave us Salmon Run and an Octo expansion. Third game needs to do.
But it will be like 48 people or something. It won't be 100. It'll be something weird like that, smaller scale.
Yep. And I don't know if it'll be like a Turf War island. But man, any concept where you go in without a weapon and you have to pick up different weapons and you can change weapons on the fly, I think would be amazing.
Yes.
I think if you go with that, the Mario / Zelda, the Bayonetta 3 details and release date, Silk Song doesn't have to be a 30-day exclusive. I just think that might happen. But I just want to see a Silk Song release date and Splatoon 3 and what else? Life is Strange remastered for me.
Well, there's 100% going to be another port / remake of another IP game. So it could be like a Donkey Kong Country type game. It could be
a new Donkey Kong Country announcement.
It might not be. It won't be a Kirby because we just got a Kirby, but it's going to be another IP along those lines. Most likely a Wii U port or like a remake maybe. But I think we're going to see two games that we don't know about. Mario game and another
Donkey Kong.
B or C. Yeah, it's going to be another, Mushroom Kingdom type or something themed game.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's always a surprise, right? Everyone tried to predict E3 and like got totally different things.
They always drop like that in the middle of the direct, like the Mario Golf dropped in the middle of direct, Mario Strikers dropped like in the like that's not like the big one more, but it's a huge mid direct drop.
Exactly, or the first thing they show.
Correct.
Because the directs have been the first thing they show and the last thing are always like the ball busters, like just amazing.
Yeah. I would say maybe even Strikers DLC, but I think it's too soon.
Probably too soon. But we'll see like this season. I mean, the first season's happening, so we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah, I think that would be the ideal direct. And like you said, the typical surprises and that sort of thing. But man, just the Mario, Zelda, Survivor Island on Splatoon, and Donkey Kong.
Oh, and shit, we forgot about Mario and Rabbids.
Gosh, yeah, we haven't seen that at all. It has been a long time since we've seen that.
That will be in the direct as well.
That could be, yeah. I'd love to see
that. Could be a new trailer that teases you that you think you're getting a Donkey Kong game or a new Mario game.
Oh,
and then it's actually Rabbids.
Nah, they wouldn't do that. I will know it's Rabbids when they do it.
Maybe. They have good animations.
I love that game.
Me too.
All right, cool. Let's wrap up. Let's get some questions in.
You want to do the questions? Should we save them?
Let's do the questions. We can do this pretty quick. I know we're running a little long, but I don't think we have anything that's too deep. We got some questions from Sean Abbott. This is a little out of context, but nut-related issues. Drew, have you had them before? Snip, no snip.
No snip.
So this comes from Sean Abbott having one of his nuts swell up. Get better soon, dude. We haven't followed up on this, but
no, we have not.
What did you say? Snip or no snip?
I'm assuming have we been snipped? Is that the question? No snip.
Okay, no snip. I'm a no snip. Have you ever had any nut issues before? I have not.
I don't think so.
No, like softball size swollen balls or anything.
I think I'm good.
Okay, you've been using Manscaped.
I feel like I would have remembered that.
I have the reference here. Sean, hate to embarrass you, but you wrote this in the Discord. I have a male version of a UTI that had made my left nut swell. Never been in so much pain. I'd say it's 60% larger than normal. I had to have it squeezed and fondled by a Scottish guy with a big ass beard. He was my doctor. It hurts like you've knocked your nuts into something. The ache then feels that sick feeling. Like I said,
I don't get the fondling part. Like they had to massage it for him.
No. I think the doctor just checked him out. I mean, a lot of times guys don't go to the doctor when they have these sort of issues, like butt issues, ball issues. It's like, ugh. All right. Next question from him. Date night as a kid or adult. Are you seeing to yourself before the date? Think there's something about Mary. In hopes that you're going to get a visit to the candy shop. Can you interpret this for the audience, Drew?
Yeah, this is the common analogy of do you whack one out early on in the night, knowing that later on you might be getting some, and you want that to be extended in a length, process, right? So the main course, for example, is better,
right?
You're prepping for the main course and making it better. 100%. I'm all in on this.
Yes.
The strategy. I mean, you take when you have this opportunity, you go for it. It's it's a rare opportunity, right?
I absolutely agree, and I wish I had never picked up on this when I was like dating. I never even knew it was a thing.
Have to do it.
Yeah, that you'd masturbate before a date so you could last longer. Never thought of it. Wish I did. Yeah. Great idea. Everyone should do it.
It's got to be done.
Didn't work out, and there's something about Mary, kind of a hair gel issue, but
yeah.
All right, we got 3 questions from Kuz. This is
yes.
Why do LED bulbs say they last for 13 years, but I'm constantly replacing them?
That's a good question. Maybe he needs to turn the lights off more often.
My house is 9 years old this month. And I've replaced many bulbs. I think some of them multiple times. The ones in my pantry, I had to replace a second time. They're constantly being turned on and off every time we go in and out of the pantry. So I think that's part of it. The lights that you flicker the most.
And maybe you have like an old, I don't know if you have an older house, a newer house, but maybe it could be something to do with the fixtures.
It could. It's a newer house, but it's not like the fixtures are like top of the line. I think when you turn the lights on and off a lot, it can wear them more. That's all.
Agreed.
I have some lights in here, LED lights, that I've never replaced, ever.
Yeah.
It just depends on how much you turn them on. But that's some fucking shit, Coos. Thoughts on squirting, as in vaginas shooting liquid? Fan or no? What is that fluid?
Do you think this comes from personal experience or watching porn?
Gotta be porn. I've never seen it in person.
I mean, the stuff that you see in the porn. I mean, let's be honest. Two problems. One, like, so unrealistic. No fucking way. Two, not only do I like think it's kind of gross, like think about the cleanup after.
Oh,
like if that's in your bed, like you better have like a mattress cover on.
Yeah, I think that is one of the things in porn and movies, which never, like in real life, is cleanup. It's never addressed.
It's like the movies. You watch them have sex and they just roll over and go to sleep. Like, yes. No, that does not happen. You know?
Yeah, usually it's like, don't get it on the bed. Oh, gross. So we got to clean it up, change the sheets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Make sure you do it on their side, folks. So if you do that on the sheets, you're not rolling in it.
I have never seen squirting firsthand.
Nope, I can say that's also
everything I've heard. It's pee.
Is that true? I may have seen it. I've been to some crazy places in my life.
So it's pee.
It's got to be pee.
It's pee.
It's pee.
We should make that a topic, but like stuff in porn that is just disgusting, and I don't know why it's there. But like,
I'm into that.
The ass stuff. I'm not like I watch it, but like ass stuff and like making the butthole bigger and all that. All right, we should save it for a topic.
Let's save it. Let's save
some gross stuff.
Thanks, Drews, for that.
All right, thank you. I want to send those questions to the Nintendo dads. I'd like to hear your answers.
Yep, same.
And last one. There's a video game title on your headstone that represents you, the one everyone will remember you by. What is it?
Oh, okay. Mine would read Drew Diffusco, slayed by the Spire.
I would buy you that tombstone.
Thank you.
I would let Amy know and be like, this is what you need to do. That's a great one. I like that one. I love Slay the Spire. Did I mention earlier that when I got the jacket and the pins, it made me want to play Slay the Spire today, and I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it tonight while we Netflix.
It's 10. I gotta wake up in like 5 hours.
Mine would be Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Sayonara, John.
Great questions, Coos. Great questions. All right, let's wrap it up.
That's it.
What's coming? Awesome. I want to thank you, Drew, for hanging in for all the not E3.
I'm not gonna lie. I was looking at the Nintendo shop. I had Amaranth up. I was doing a few things.
Thanks for hanging in there.
No problem.
What's coming up? We got some big games coming out over the next couple weeks. Sonic Origins comes out June 23rd.
I'll be picking this up.
All right. Are you gonna play them all, or anything in particular? Or?
I'll probably play through all of them.
Okay. Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes comes out June 24th. That one's for me, day one. Yeah. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak expansion. I have been waiting for this for 9 months. Cannot wait. I've put in over 100 hours in Monster Hunter Rise. I'll probably put in another 100 more. Can't wait for it. And then it's going to be
put in another 100 more. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, we'll see. It's like a sequel. I mean, it's a pretty big thing, but we'll see. I might get. I had periods where I got bored of playing Monster Hunter Rise, but I really played it a ton the last time, and I've done all the quests. So, and then that same day, it's too bad it comes out the same day, but whatever. Cuphead Delicious Last Course also comes out June 30th. I know we're both. Are you playing this?
You know,
you said you were going.
Yeah, I'm playing it, but like for some weird reason, like I'm not excited for it.
Yeah, because it's been forever since Cuphead came out.
But once I pick it up, I get into it. I'll enjoy it.
It looks beautiful. I may not play it day one.
This sounds like a bounty type game, though, or
I think it's got to be.
We need a good monthly mayhem game.
This would be a good monthly Mayhem game. I don't know how many people are going to play it.
Was Cuphead our first ever?
It was.
Monthly Mayhem game?
And I can't remember what the Mayhem was.
I might have to dig up
percentage completion, maybe?
We're going to do it again. I'll figure it out.
Okay. I think this would be a good Mayhem game. It could also be a good bounty game, but I don't know. Maybe we do. Maybe we pick a particular enemy and like the fastest to beat them.
Fastest time, yeah.
I might save this for a vacation.
It's a good idea.
I don't know if I want to be on the road driving with it because I might throw my Switch out a window.
Smart.
But it's supposed to be about 5 hours long, so it seems like I could finish it on vacation.
Nice.
But I'm not going to play it day one. It's Monster Hunter Rise for me. And that's it. That's a show.
What a show, as always.
What a show. Hopefully next time we're going to talk about the Nintendo Direct. There is a chance we'll do a special episode to talk about it if it comes out pretty soon.
Maybe. I'm on vacation that week, so we'll see.
Oh, that's right. If you were on vacation, I don't know what we're going to have to do. Well, we'll talk it out.
I'll be back in time.
Okay. We'll see when it is. If it's June 29th, that's 10 days from now. Maybe we'll just wait and do a regular show. But if it comes next week, we got to do a special episode. But yeah, I'm going to try to do some more special episodes. We haven't done one the last 2 weeks. We're going to do a special episode next couple. All right. You get back on the 29th. Wow.
No, the 30th, I think.
30th? No, the 30th? Well, the next episode is going to be what? 30 days, have September, April, June, and November. 11, June 3rd, July 3rd.
Correct.
That's not going to interfere with 4th of July, right? No?
TBD. I might be wasted. I might have a cookout that day, but I'll be here.
If you're wasted, we're definitely doing an episode.
You're right.
All right, man.
Alrighty, that's it.
Good show.
Good stuff.
Good night, dads.
Peace.
The Dads After Dark show is part of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. You can subscribe to us anywhere podcasts are available, including iTunes, Castbox, Spotify, and Stitcher. Also, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review. Pretty please. Be sure to join us on the Nintendo Dads Discord in our Dads After Dark channels for some naughty After Dark talk. Follow us on Twitter at @NDadsAfterDark or email us at dadsafterdarkshow@gmail.com. And a big thank you to Family Jewels for our show's music. You rock. That's all for tonight. Good night, Dads. Sweet dreams.